San Angelo Central, they're down in El Paso, taking on El Paso Eastlake. First drive of the game. The Bobcats got all the way down to the 1 yard line. Can they finish? Let's see. Very next play. Fumble on the play by the Bobcats. They were not able to get in, but was Eastlake? We'll see. Here it is. They went all the way, drove all the way down the field and found a man. It's 7-0. It's still early. Bobcats are driving. Stay tuned. It's by district action only on Cover 1. Let's go.
Who say they want it? Who say they ready? See, you might not like it, but you gon' respect it, cause this is West Texas. Who say they want it? Who say they ready? Hey, coach, they might not like it, but they gon' respect it, cause this is West Texas. I said it's game time. Hey, coach, they know it's game time. You know it's game time. I said it's game time. Come on. Hey, coach, they know it's game time. Hey, who say they won't? We won't. Who say they ready? We ready. They might not like. We like it. But this is West Texas. They gon' respect. First off, I got my grades up, so I deserve every moment that I'm out on the field. I've been in practice all week, so you know what it is. We ain't come for the win, but we came for the kill. It ain't all about the hard boy, so why here we here, hard boy? We for nothing but the Lord, boy. So when you come play us, we might rip out your heart and send you back home with some bruises and scars. Hey, put me in, coach, cause I'm ready to ball. I see the fear in his eyes like he already lost. You know I came with my AK. Defense hitting hard like a freight train. We got the crowd going crazy. Running school colors in the stands look amazing. We don't need permission for the trophy, we just take. And the only way to get to the top comes from hard work and a lot of dedication. I said it's game time. You know it's game time. Hey, coach, they know it's game time. You know it's game time. I said it's game time. Come on. Hey, coach, they know it's game time. Hey, who say they won't? We won't. Who say they ready? We ready. Who? They might not like. We like it. But this is West Texas. They gon' respect it.
Well, hello and welcome to Cover 1 Live here on SanAngeloLive.com. I'm Manny Diaz. This is night number 2 of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. If you were with us last night, well, you saw a fantastic finish between El Dorado and Somerville, and a finish that, well, the Cristobal Cougars wish they had back as they fell to Burton last night, 30-29. Tonight, it's the San Angelo Central Bobcats out in away West Texas in El Paso, taking on El Paso Eastlake. We showed you where Eastlake was able to get on the board first. Well, I tell you what, it just became an interesting game. In fact, before we get to that, let's introduce the other member of the crew tonight, and that is Mr. Matt Trammell. Matt, what's up, baby?
Who said they want it? I said I need it, and I'm ready, Manny. It's Cover 1 Live, and it's the second night in a row. We had some good action last night. I went 3 for 3 on my picks.
Yeah, you did.
Undefeated. So I'm riding a very good week out. And, Manny, I got some good news for you Bobcat fans out there. They're ready, too.
Okay. Well, let's get – what do you got right there?
Let's go down to El Paso. This is a 4th down play. They got the 3rd down stop. Here's the punt. Let's see what happens. Just a little heads up. They're going to fake it. That's right. Takes it, tries to fake it, but there's no one to fake it to. Instead, the punter throws it out of bounds. Now look at this, guys. Bobcats get the football on their own 20-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. So, good, right?
Heck yeah. I mean, who tries to – maybe he wasn't trying to fake it. Maybe it would have been blocked. I don't know. They were there. But either way, who tries to fake a punt on their own 20-yard line?
I don't know, Trammell. I don't know. Do we have any development from anything else to look into that game?
Let me take a second. Let me catch back up. I know I was just really excited about that one. I wanted to show the people because we're right there. We got it going.
All right. So as Trammell, as you look for that, because there is another development in this game, and we'll get to you in just a moment. Right now, 7-0 El Paso Eastlake leading the Central Bobcats here. This is an interesting matchup because we'll get to that here in the nuts and bolts here in a little bit because, well, you know, Eastlake Central matched up last year in this very round. Eastlake completely different, as is San Angelo Central. So tonight, these two going head-to-head again. A winner gets either Weatherford or Saginaw Boswell in the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs Class 6A Division II. All right, other games we're checking out tonight. Grape Creek Alpine out in Big Lake. Ballinger Crane right here in San Angelo. We can't forget about those Lakeview Chiefs taking on the Clint Lions out in Ira and Texas. And last but not least, those Midland Legacy Rebels taking on El Paso Pebble Hills. We're gonna have highlights from all these games, plus scores from all over the 325 in West Texas. In the meantime, Matt Tremmel, do you have a development for us?
Yeah, I do. Let's go back out to El Paso, where unfortunately the Bobcats are in a little bit of trouble. We saw that good 4th down stop, but next play, Manny, something happens, turnover. And it's a 70-yard return by Eastlake.
Elijah Uribe.
Yeah, takes it to the other side of – look, the Central Bobcats got it on the 20. Next play, turnover, and now Eastlake's on the 20, man.
Yeah, this dude – and I tell you, Central has not been able to stop the run this entire season. This guy will not make the night – easy. I'll say that because he's up there with some of the biggest backs we've seen in West Texas already. In the meantime,
we've seen them have a trouble.
Yeah. If you want to cue up the angle, Uribe, because this is going to tell you everything you need to know tonight about what's going on with the Central Bobcats matchup tonight against El Paso Eastlake. Very, very, very good with this one here. Here we go. This is Elijah Uribe. He's pretty much comparable to the King Thomas of Abilene High. If you look at Elijah, 209 carries, over 1,500 yards rushing, averaging about 150 yards a game, 20 touchdowns, 8 100-plus yard rushing games. You look at the King Thomas, a kid who San Angelo Central saw just a week ago at the friendly confines of Shotwell Stadium, 145 carries, over 1,100 yards rushing. Yeah, $145 per game, 18 touchdowns, 6 100-yard rushing games. Interesting thing about Elijah Uribe, 8 touchdowns in week 7 or 8 against El Paso Eastwood. He was crowned that week's Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. Central has their work cut out for them taking on this kid Elijah Uribe tonight. We just saw him break off a 70-yard run, not a touchdown, but just a 70-yard run. This kid means business tonight, as do the rest of the Eastlake Falcons. So that's the tale of the tape. We do have another angle to get to here in a moment, but in the meantime, Trammell, what do we have left with? Do we have anything to go to right now?
Yeah,
I know these games are developing as we speak.
We definitely do. They're trying. They have a ball game tonight. It's a playoff matchup. Don't get to hear that most seasons for Grape Creek, but this year they're there. So you might as well root for them and see if they can get the job done. But late in the first quarter in this one, playing Alpine, this man has already got one on the board. Just a quarterback keeper, rolls out to the right out there, makes 1 or 2 minutes to get it behind his guy, and just right in his face. Look at that. Good shot by James Bellini. This team goes up 7-0 against the Grape Creek Eagles.
Okay, well, it's not, this game, we're just in the early goings of this one here. Not worried. I think, if you ask me, if there's a time for the Grape Creek Eagles to truly shine, it's this week against Alpine. These guys certainly onto something. Not worried about this one single bit. We'll check in with that.
7-0, 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Okay, all right. So that one getting cranked up as we speak. We're watching that one, plus Lakeview and Clint out in Ira and Texas. I tell you what, that's talk about just having to just go far and wide to find a football game there. So we have our very own Tristan Franklin, the former Lakeview Chief, pretty much as our reporter, boots on the ground at that game tonight. So we'll see what happens with that one in just a bit. All right.
Manny, if you want to do me a favor, if you want to pull up the most recent one from Colby.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'll pull up the one right before that. We can catch these guys up on what's going down at San Angelo Stadium.
Okay, all right. So, looks like we do have a development from San Angelo Stadium right here.
All right, so for San Angelo Stadium, it is Crane versus Ballinger, correct?
Huh?
All right, so the score right now, after a fumble, Ballinger got the fumble and took it to the end zone, 7-0. Here is how Crane answered. The quarterback keeper makes 2 guys miss, gets in the end zone, fights through there. Let's watch it one more time. They're all in the backfield right there. But either way, gets in there, scores. That they do not get the extra point. 7-6 at this point. Ballinger's still up.
Okay.
Let's go to you next drive right here. Look at that.
Oh, let's bring it back here.
The long run by the Bearcats. Going down right up the gut. Gonna get a touchdown. Ballinger's up 14-6 against a really good Crane team.
Yeah, I think if you were asking a lot of the critics around West Texas, likely to pick Crane in this one. Jeff Cordell, former Sonora head coach, now the Crane old ball coach. His Golden Cranes trying to stay alive in the Texas high school football. All right, so there we are. So it is 14-6. Ballinger surprising the folks here in West Texas, including yours truly. All right, so in the meantime, Tony, before we get crazy tonight, let's go ahead. Let's give our picks tonight. Let's give our picks tonight. How about that? We'll give our picks tonight, and then plus we'll get to another big game that we're watching out here. Well, let's start with these Grape Creek Eagles. These guys having a fantastic season. For the first time in program history, crowned a district title. Last week, everybody running with the Creek except Matt Trammell. Trammell.
I'm the Grape Creek guy around here. What's up with that? You know, usually I rock with the Eagles. I was the only one that really.
I tell you, Trammell,
But you know what? This week is just maybe too much for the Eagles. Yesterday, the same situation happened when we talked about Cristobal Bruton. It was everyone against me. Went perfect. Maybe we can do it again.
Yep.
I don't know. Prove me wrong.
I hope they do prove you wrong tonight. All right, next pick, we do have Lakeview and Clint. These guys deep in the heart of West Texas, out in Ira and Sheffield. And I tell you what, Trammell, we actually agreed on something tonight.
Yep, definitely. I've played the Clint Lions before. They were the first round back when I used to play with the old Lobos. And man, our second string would come in at halftime. Not a very good ball program usually. So I have faith that the Lakeview Chiefs can go ahead and get it done. We'll see.
Without question.
It's been a tough one so far.
I think, coming off that win last week against Big Spring, their first district win in 3 years, huge for them. Big momentum shift carrying into week 1 of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. All right, next pick, San Angelo Central, El Paso Eastlake. We do have a development from this game, which we will show you in just a few moments, but let's get to our pick first and foremost. And the survey says, well,
split decision, Manny.
I tell you, the office of San Angelo Live, I mean, if this was a heavyweight fight, I mean, we're barely rolling with the Bobcats tonight.
Yeah, you're rolling with them, but I think maybe this 9-1 team may be a little too much for them. I'm not the hater, guys, I promise. But I was 3-3 last
Trammell,
night.
Let's be real. You're the ultimate heel. If we're talking wrestling and high school football, you're the heel.
Well, I may be the heel, but most of the time I'm right, so it ends up panning
Okay,
out.
I'm not gonna wrong you on that.
That was a perfect heel answer.
Yeah. All right. So in the meantime, Tony, that wraps up our Nukes Pick'em for this week. We had Trammell went 3-0 last night. He's hoping to continue that success tonight, so we'll see what happens in that game.
It just sucked that it had to be on the fate of the Cristobal Cougars.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we do have a highlight to show you from El Paso, and it looks like under 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes left in, what was it, the second quarter. In the first half of play, it looks like the Bobcats are on the board officially.
Woo, let's go.
Tony, if you want to take camera 3 right here, and we will get this rolling, baby. San Angelo Central, El Paso, Eastlake. Doesn't get much better than this. Here we go.
Long ball.
The long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. That's Tyler Hill to Jacob English. Holla at your boy.
It's happened all night long, man.
Yeah, 7-0 or 7-7 game tied there in El Paso at Socorro ISD Stadium. It's going to be a ball game, folks. Central, I tell you, since 2019, they're 3-0 there at Socorro ISD Stadium.
Maybe they're going to make it 4. I don't know. Don't
I
wanna
hope-
jinx them too
I
late,
hope
but their
they have
defense
it.
is playing pretty good.
All right, Tony, let's come back to us here, courtesy of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, always taking care of our Bobcat highlights each and every week.
Now, Manny, before you go too far, I want to keep spreading this like enjoyment for these Bobcats. Look, the defense is playing good. I've already said it. They got the big stop on that 4th down. Yeah, things happen. Here's another good one.
Oh,
Ready?
Okay.
Let's check it out.
San Angelo Central, El Paso, Eastlake, coming at ya.
Throws the long ball, but guess what? We're there first.
Get outta here.
Interception by the Bobcats. Let's go, Manny.
Woo, baby.
The long ball. Chicks dig it, except for when you throw the pick. We were there first.
Where's Greg Maddox and Tom Glavine when you need them?
We were there first. Go get that ball. Highest point. Interception.
I tell you what, you know
Bobcat
what?
football.
The Bobcats turnovers, creating the turnover has been like pulling teeth for these guys. It's just they've been unsuccessful. It's been very difficult for them to do this whole thing for the Bobcats this season. Tonight, that's big time right there, Trammell. Big time.
Absolutely. For I think a majority of the season, they didn't have a turnover. So.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So let's see if they can take advantage of it. That was a long interception, so kind of acted as a punt, but we'll still see whatever happens to this one.
All right, so looks like Tony, if you want to cue up camera 3 here. So remember we showed you Alpine Grape Creek whenever Grape Creek or Alpine scored first there. Well, here we go. Let's go back out to Big Lake, Texas, home of the Reagan County Owls. And here we are, Grape Creek, the kids from the north side of Tom Green County with the rock now. Final moments of the first quarter. And look at this.
Banging it. Trying to run.
Banging her in there, yep.
Yeah, boots on the ground saying that they are on a drive right now. That ended the first quarter, but good things coming, hopefully, for the Eagles.
Alrighty, so we'll check back in with the kids from the north end of Tom Green County. Tony, let's come back to the desk. This highlights from around the Core 27, proudly presented by WW Atco Steel. All right, so, I mean, good things going on there. 7-0 right now. Not too bad. Grape Creek still within distance of perhaps doing something, at least staying within reach. In the meantime, Tony, let's kind of show what's on the line for the Grape Creek Eagles. It is the Grape Creek angle here. These guys, it's been a fight for them all season long. And I tell you what, it's fun because before we take this, let me go ahead and share this. It's a little soundbite from head coach Tanner Teal, because week 10, we actually we had to check a score with Sonora and Grape Creek. It was the final score 7-6. Tanner Teal apparently used it as some bulletin board material, Trammell.
Hey, whatever it took to get them in there. They got their first district championship, and if it took us talking a little crap, so
Hey,
be it.
we'll be the heel in that. Tony, cue the tape.
I'll be honest. I watched the Cover 1 show last week, and a lot of the comments they struck a nerve out here. You know, it came across that we beat Sonora, and we had to do some fact checking. And, you know, there was a lot of Sonora should hang their head. I tell you what, we're a pretty good football team.
I love it. Tanner Teal using it as bulletin board material.
And they are a pretty good team. This is the first time Grape Creek has won a district championship ever, Manny.
School history.
School history, man. That's big time. And so, you know, you may not have picked to win tonight, but if they do, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, out to make a statement coming off that win that gave them their first district title in program history. Tonight, they're looking for the program's first, another one of those, first playoff win. Speaking of the playoffs, well, this is their first playoff appearance since 2017. So big things ahead for them. As for this matchup, well, it's basically the first to 30 points, Trammell.
Right.
Grape Creek, or Alpine giving up Monster Meadows 30 points a game. Grape Creek giving up Monster Meadows about 27.5. So you would think if
First
one of
30.
these teams can get to 30 points tonight, that should be the magic number.
Yeah. Speaking of, you want to go down to the field?
See, this is what we do, folks. We set you up, and then we're going to show you the goods. How about it? Grape Creek, Alpine, out in the friendly confines of
Big Lake,
Texas.
down there, Reagan County. You see the big old signs back there. It must have been a distraction for this exchange because a fumble, and Grape Creek gets on top of it. They are in the red zone, Manny. Look at this, just a simple handoff gone wrong. Running back drops it. You're going to get the ball like the 5-yard line.
Yeah, in fact, I do have a follow-up to that.
See what happens after this one.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
let's
run it.
get to the follow-up here because it gets even better. So here's Grape Creek, well, with the rock down to the 2-yard line. Yeah!
They're
Knocking on the door, Grape Creek. Look at that. Even maybe perhaps a little okey-doke on that. 33 getting down to the 2. Loving what we're seeing here. All right, so Tony, let's come back to the desk. We'll see what develops from this one here coming up shortly, presented by WW AFCO Steel. Gotta love what we're seeing from Big Lake, Texas tonight with the Grape Creek Eagles. All right, so it looks like Grape Creek was able to get the score. Touchdown courtesy of number 4, Mr. Dillon. And that is an extra point attempt, no good. So it's now 7-6 Grape Creek, or 7-6 Alpine, leading Grape Creek with about 8:06 left in the half. All right, so I know we were promising Lakeview and Clint. Trammell, you got one of those?
I got it pulled up already,
Okay.
Manny. Let's go ahead and go down to You Love Your Blue, and you're going to love this one. Right here, Clint. They have the football. They're trying to throw the ball on the Chiefs. Guess what? They're ready for it. Throws the duck and goes and gets it. Interception by the Chiefs. Manny, they're going to take over on the 20-yard line.
Woo!
15.
Okay. Our team's not doing half bad tonight. Pretty solid start. So hopefully we can keep the momentum up tonight.
Do we have a score update from this one?
I know we're
still set. Is it at the score?
Let's see. We have not.
We'll see.
We got Tristan Franklin out there. We'll see what he has to say
Yeah,
about that.
we'll get one and we'll get y'all updated on it.
All right. In the meantime, let's see. All right. So we do have an update from Midland's Midland's Grande Communication Stadium. Midland Legacy, El Paso Pebble Hills. Legacy ranked in the top 25 in Texas, and already Marcus Davila going to work. I love the cursive L that they're rocking again tonight there at Grande. And Marcus Davila, one of the most probably dynamic quarterbacks in West Texas, if not the state of Texas. Look at this. Chris Brazel, go get you some, boy.
Oh, man.
Top shelf.
What a snag on that one.
What a catch.
Climb
We'll take a
the
look at that
ladder.
one more time. Yeah, look at this. Marcus Davila saying, yeah, run to the Buick.
Oh, man. Steps over in Allen Iverson style.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what happens in this one. It looks like that was a good scoring position, putting them in scoring position there. Tony, let's go back to the desk. That one there, courtesy of Angelo Bolts, watching the little
Bolts is down.
Southwest Conference.
Hey, Manny, the video finally came through. We can see that Grape Creek touchdown and how they scored. You want to check it out?
Yeah.
All right, so from the 2-yard line here, Grape Creek has the football. We saw them get to the 2. Now let's see if they can wrap it up. I spoiled it already, but just like the Eagles like to do, just change things up, switch it up, and just confuse the defense. quarterback draw right there. Gets the 2 yards and the touchdown. The kick was no good. So right now, 7-6. Grape Creek's down by 1.
Hey, not too bad. We'll take it. They're on the board. That's all that truly matters, Matt Trammell.
Right. Remember, they won the game 7-6 against Sonora, so they don't need a lot of points to win.
I know. First to 30. That's what we're calling tonight. In fact, we will revisit that graphic tonight if they can find a way. Whoever gets to 30, that should be something to be said down there. All right. We do have another update from Midland as we go back to Grande Communications Stadium. The Rebels already with an early lead, perhaps trying to pad the lead here. Marcus Davila almost fakes off the camera guy. Isaiah Garza takes it in himself. That's going to make it 15-0 Rebels.
Already up big in this one. They're probably going to win by a lot, Manny. I'd keep your eye on this one. This thing might.
Yeah, they're thinking McKylan Young all the way. Marcus Davila just strolls on into the end zone. 15-0 Legacy on top of the Spartans there of El Paso Pebble Hills. Tony, let's come back to the desk. All right, so good start there from the Rebels. We'll check in with them here after a while. I know we have boots on the ground in that game there. Lots of good stuff to show you tonight.
I think first we need to go out to Reagan County again.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, perfect. So the Alpine, the Pine, they're driving. I like it. They got their helmets right there. You'll see it. Right there it just says the Pine. It's pretty sick. All right, so here it is, Alpine. You already know, Manny, who scored this touchdown.
What it is.
It's the quarterback. No, it's not. Hands it off to the running back. Excuse me. Cuts it off one. Gets a stiff arm. Going to go ahead and make another touchdown. 14-6. Alpine retakes the lead.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, Trammell, this one has the feeling of just a rock'em sock'em robots type of matchup here tonight.
Yeah, I would watch out, though. Grape Creek's defense is a little scarier than most people would give it credit for. But as we're seeing, this running back quarterback duo for Alpine sure is making things happen.
Yeah, no, without question. All right, so looks like what Central, El Paso, Eastlake, are they at that break? It feels like they are Central. I believe they are. So I know the last we checked, it was 7-7.
Yeah, Eastlake. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, they should be because Eastlake calls timeout.
So we'll check in. We'll see what's going on there.
Chad says yes. We'll try to get him in on
okay. All right. So, Tony, this has been a fantastic night. We'll bring in Ryan Chadwick here momentarily. All right. In the meantime, let's go back to Grande Communications Stadium. 15-0. Legacy leading Pebble Hills. And we saw Marcus Davila think about handing off to this bad man that is McKylan Young. And, well, off from the Wildcat. Takes it in himself. One more time, folks. Look at this. McKylan Young, probably one of the baddest cats in Texas. At least, most certainly in Region 1. Yeah, that makes it 23-0. Midland Legacy just putting it on El Paso Pebble Hills right now. Tony, come back. All right, Angelo Bolt, proud presenter of our Little Southwest Conference highlights tonight. Ooh, baby, Trammell.
A lot of action really fast, huh?
Yeah, lots of action there. Let's see. All right, so seeing plenty of good things tonight with what we're watching. Central El Paso Eastlake at the break, 7-7 right now. This is a very good football game in the sense that this one, Central has. I mean, they've had good success against these guys. Certainly last season, and
they're hanging in.
They're hanging in there. And tonight, that's what it's going to have to be. Just hanging in there and having the opportunity to strike late.
Yeah.
So
eventually, I think they're going to have to. You're going to have to take a little bit of a lead or something.
Yeah, the defense has to come up clutch. In the meantime, Tony, we do have one other angle to get to, and that is our central angle of the night. We showed you the bad man that is Elijah Uribe let's show you what's kind of up ahead, the tail of the tape of this game here tonight, folks. And this one, not too bad as we look at the Battle of West Texas, breaking down this matchup. El Paso Montwood is the common opponent for Eastlake and San Angelo Central. Eastlake just dump trucked Montwood earlier this season, 50-0, while Central in week 2, it was kind of a game, but it was a weird game since it got delayed. Yeah, it was a weird game. So 34-29, Central survived that one. The regular season, well, Eastlake has never left El Paso the entire regular season, while San Angelo Central, they've been here, they've been there, and on top of that, they faced 3 top 25 opponents in the state of Texas. That's Midland Legacy, Amarillo Tascosa, and then the team from Austin Vandergrift in that one. And of course, as you see right down there, Central managed to defeat Eastlake in 2020, 54-35. Malachi Brown, a big part of that matchup, that game in 2020. So we'll see how this one shakes out tonight. Elijah Uribe, they got to find a way to corral him. This guy scored 8 touchdowns just a few weeks ago against El Paso Eastwood. Yeah. The dude's bad. Let's just say that.
He's already got one tonight, correct?
Yeah,
so,
already has one.
It looks like they are trying to do something because he hasn't gotten more than one. And they've played some pretty good defense so far. They've got the turnover. They've gotten the almost blocked punt that turned into like a botched fake punt. I don't know. That was a weird play. And so their defense is playing pretty good. Offensively, they've thrown a deep ball and they've found somebody, but they got to figure out how to dink and dunk a little bit because if you're just relying on the big play, it may be all for nothing when it comes down to the end of this thing.
Right. Updated score to pass along to you from Midland. Right now, 23-8. Midland Legacy leading El Paso Pebble Hills. Feels like that one is just getting away from Pebble Hills quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
I think what we're looking to have a Zoom call with our very own Isaiah Garza. This guy, pretty much the man of anything Midland Legacy tonight or this season.
Well, he's been on the team, so he's got some experience.
Yeah, that is for sure. Let's see.
You can send him that same one I sent Chadwick.
I sent him that one. So
Perfect. We're also working to get Chadwick on the phone to maybe get some ideas on what's exactly going down there.
Yeah. Yep. Alrighty, so we'll see what kind of what happens in that one there. Another big game to watch for tonight is El Paso Franklin and Odessa Permian. Franklin's a pretty, they're not a bad team. In fact, they're a really good football team. Odessa Permian, these guys have kind of just, last week against Midland Legacy, it was a ball game, certainly for Midland Legacy and how they were able to just really kind of get after things there. But yeah, Permian, these guys, they've been in some games, and of course, against the teams that really mattered, Midland Legacy, Abilene, they kind of fell short, just like the San Angelo Central Bobcats. So right now, just a few moments ago, we're seeing an updated score from El Paso on that one. Odessa Permian 14, El Paso Franklin 7. So this one kind of trickling down late moments of the second half, or the first half, if you will, Or now, matter of fact, it is 21-7, Permian leading Franklin. So we'll kind of keep an update, or keep an eye on that one there as this one progresses. We're hoping we can see the Little Southwest Conference do some big things in this postseason. I think they have a chance. These games, these week 1 games, are not out of the realm of possibility of them winning, certainly against the El Paso school. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. Another one we're watching, Abilene versus El Paso Eastwood. And right now, this is going to shock you, Trammell. El Paso Eastwood 20, Abilene 6.
Whoa.
At the break.
That's
Eagles get the ball in start the second half.
That's crazy.
So that one, if you would have asked me who my pick was, I would have been rolling with the Warbirds.
I would have absolutely been rolling with Abilene. Abilene's been a good team all year. They got the first seed out of that, and they got second seed overall. So,
yeah,
that's a big surprise. In the meantime, Manny, we have the boots on the ground down there in Midland Legacy. Isaiah's with us.
Our very own Isaiah Garza.
Let's see it.
Sir, how's it going?
What's up, Isaiah? They're up big already. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's 23-8. You know, they got a nice, comfortable lead, but you know the game. I think they are off to a slower start than usual, for sure.
Vice President,
why do you think? What do you think will help them get out of that slower start? You think they need to run the ball more, throw the ball more? What do you think? Is it the defense? What's going on with them?
I think Pebble Hills came out. They got a good game plan against the run. But Legacy's able to throw the ball pretty much at will right now. So we'll see if the second-hand game plan is more line up 4 and 5 wide and let Marcos throw the ball around.
MK, already kind of doing some big things here. Tell us a little bit about McKylan Young. I mean, he's one of the baddest cats in Texas. Tell us about his progress tonight.
Say that again?
Yeah.
Say about McKylan Young.
MK, it's a steady dose of MK. It's always, you know, he always get his touches. Like I said, Pebble Hills came out with a good game plan against the run. MK had a touchdown early, but it's a short run. Nothing too big, nothing major, but steady dose of McKylan for sure.
We only have 8 points for Talk about the defense. What has Legacy been able to do defensively to kind of keep them off the board?
Just play extremely fast, extremely physical. They've had a lot of they've been pressuring the quarterback big time. A couple sacks, a lot of quarterback hits as he's throwing the ball, quarterback hurries. So just putting a lot of stress on the pocket, honestly. And the DBs are back there playing good. They had a breakdown on a double pass right before halftime that didn't lead to extra points, so that's good.
All righty. Isaiah Garza, good stuff from you as always, my man. Thanks for checking in with us at the break. We will see you at the end of this one. Hey, we hope to see another good interview with Coach Hartman. That guy just so entertaining all the time.
Yes, sir, he is, man. He's a good dude, and he's a genuine guy. He's always going to tell you how it is, you know, speak the truth.
Yeah, I tell you what, I saw him a few weeks ago here in San Angelo. We had a chat about you. He had nothing but great things to say about you, Isaiah. Said you were one of the hardest working kids he's had a chance to coach. So he's glad to see you on the sideline there, hanging out with them still.
I appreciate it, and that means a lot to me, and I appreciate you letting me know, and I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be here, man. It's an honor, you know.
Well, we just like the video and the takes, man. You keep doing you.
Yes,
all right,
sir,
Isaiah, good stuff,
it.
my man. We'll see you at the end of this one. Be well, brother. All right, back here in the studio, Isaiah Garza. Midland Legacy taking care of business right now, 23-8, leading El Paso Pebble Hills, the friendly confines of Grande Communications Stadium there in Midland, Texas. We got that. Trammell, arguably the most shocking score tonight has to be El Paso Eastwood leading Abilene High 20-6 at the break. Did not see this one coming.
Where's the King at, man?
The King's not there. I mean, you got to wonder. That's a great question.
Maybe this El Paso unit's actually not a bad district this year. I mean, they're not down big against Midland Legacy. They're beating Central or tied with Central. What's the score there?
Yeah, so
is it sevens?
Which one?
Central
and El Paso. Yeah, sevens
there.
At the half
So
right
we
now.
tied there. They're leading there. What about Mojo? Do we have a Mojo score?
Yeah, it was, I believe, 21-7, if I'm not mistaken there. Mojo's on top.
Okay, well, these guys are El Paso's kind of hanging in there with us. Hopefully everybody can get it ship-shaped around. Abilene's got to turn this thing around for sure.
No, without question.
But in the meantime, let's go back to San Angelo Stadium. We got an update, Manny.
Ballinger Crane, the Golden Cranes, presented by WW AFCO Steel.
It's not good for the
not
good for the old Bearcats here on this one. Just fakes the handoff, rolls to the left, and a throwback pass, Manny. Nobody saw it coming. Snuck his way into the back of the end zone. We'll have to actually take a look and see where he came from. It looks like, oh yeah, I'll show you. Here we go. Pause. Wait. Watch this running back. See how he's just standing there? No one thinks he's going to do anything. Then just creeps on back there. Finds it wide open in the back of the end zone. That's a touchdown. Bearcats are now down, I think. What is that? No, it's 14.
It's 20-14.
20-14 now.
Yeah, 9 seconds left in. Well, I'm assuming this one is. We'll go ahead and say it's already at the break.
What? Who's up?
I believe that is. I believe Crane might be up on that one.
Okay, so Crane. Yep, there we go. The Golden Cranes up against the Bearcats. There we go.
Okay. Alrighty. So in the meantime, well, we have an update from Big Lake, and this one, folks. Well, we're rooting for the kids from Grape Creek. Let's just say that. Let's go back to Big Lake here as we get ready for this one. And this game, I'll tell you, folks. Well, let's see. We're ready to go back. Tony, yeah, keep me on that one there. Let's go back to Big Lake, and we have show you here. So, Grape Creek with the rock.
The football.
Yeah, looking to make something happen. Well, stripped.
Fumble, scoop and score all the way, get in the back of there. There's under 2 minutes left in the half. It was 14-6. This turned it into 21-6. Grape Creek now down by 2 touchdowns to go into the half.
So, 20-6, as Trammell said. Grape Creek trying to get its first playoff win in program history. Man, I tell you, these kids have come so far. I do not think they're going to waive. I do not think this is a giving up point for them. I think this is just the start of the whatever they got cooking up. Man, nonetheless.
Actually, kick was no good, so 20-6.
20-6.
Yeah.
So
14 points. There was also a penalty on that for taunting.
Alrighty. So in the meantime, let's Trammell. What do we say we get a updated halftime? I guess updated look at the scores from around West Texas.
Give me 1 second.
All right. So as we kind of talk a little bit about that there, I tell you what, it's an interesting game. It's in El Paso, the Central Bobcats and the El Paso East Lake Falcons tied at the break. This one, an extremely good football game. We're waiting on bated breath, waiting to see how this one shakes out in the second half because, man, oh, man, it was a good one. Central coming up with an INT in the first half. Hopefully these guys can have some more left in the tank for the second half. In the meantime, it looks like Matt Trammell's ready for our Deersky and Deersky scoreboard.
All right, remember, www.sandialive.com/scores. This is the Scores page brought to you by Deersky and Deersky Realtors, the real estate professionals of Texas. Folks, first we're going to talk about a little bit of old news. We're going to go with the scores from last night. Andrews versus Fabin, 73-0 Andrews. Lakey Jonesboro, 90-40 Jonesboro wins. May took on Erie County. Unfortunately for the boys down there, in Merton, 68-20, May wins. Lubbock Coronado put it on El Paso Bel Air last night, 67-7. Falls City, LaPryor, 48-0. Falls City. Brock, our own Wall Hawks played 40-6. Brock wins. Amarillo River Road, Denver City. This one is a final 14-6. The Mustangs lose. Burton Cristobal, this is a great one last night. If you didn't see it, go back and watch Cover 1 last night. 30-29, 1-point ball game. Cristobal Cougars are out of the playoffs first round. Saginaw Boswell, Hazlitt Eaton, 40-37. That's a 3-point game. Saginaw wins. Somerville, El Dorado, another close one for those boys in that district. 35-33, El Dorado Eagles are the winners in that one. San Angelo Stadium last night, Sonora took on Odessa Compass Academy Charter School. It's a 5-man district. This team got 4th. They lost 79-8 against Sonora. El Paso Riverside 34, Big Spring 7. Brownfield Muleshoe, another good one. Muleshoe 21, Brownfield Cubs only 17. They lose first round. Calvert Oldsby 48-30. Oldsby wins. Stanton and Childress. This is an interesting one. Upset big time. The undefeated Childress loses to Stanton 39-34. District 3A, or the 3A district, the Division II playoffs are wide open now. Sterling City, Hermele, 56-42. A little controversy over the score last night, but this is the correct one. Sterling City wins. Shallowater Dalhart, 56-18. The Mustangs win. Sabinal versus Yorktown, 62-20. Yorktown. Garden City, Van Horn. Look at that. A 1-point ball game last night for the 6-man. 70-69. Van Horn barely squeezes past that one. Lameda, Medina, 53-20. Lameda wins. This is San Angelo Central of Paso Eastlake. We actually have an updated score of 7-7. It's halftime. We'll have updates here in just a second. Byron Nelson versus Weatherford. Byron Nelson 14. They're leading against Weatherford 7. Mansfield Summit versus Azle 21-7. Mansfield Summit. Justin Northwest, Burleson Centennial 14-8. Centennial. Colleyville Heritage taking on Abilene Cooper, and the Cougs are down big 28-7 in the second quarter. El Paso Chapin, Amarillo Caprock 14-0 Chapin. El Paso Del Val, Amarillo High. Amarillo High is up in this one 10-7. Hereford Lakeworth 17, Hereford 6. Dumas versus Decatur. Dumas is already down by 10, 17-7 in the second quarter. Euless Trinity versus Keller 14-7 Keller. Midland Legacy, El Paso Pebble Hills. We have an updated score, isn't it? 23-8. All right, 23-8. The Rebels are up. Lubbock Roosevelt won the district this year. 14-11. They're up against Spearman. Abernathy 21. Breonna 0. White Settlement playing Midlothian tonight. 7-3. Midlothian's up. El Paso Eastwood, Abilene High. This is a wild score. Not expected. 13-6. Eastwood up. 20-6 now. All right, 26. Bushland, Slayton. Tigers down, 14-0. Whitesboro, Breckenridge, 15-0. Rooser down in that one. Pilot Point versus Early. Early's up 13-0 against Pilot Point, Manny. Kind of a surprising score there. Idalou and Canadian tied at zeros. Richland Springs against Sydney, trying to go back to the ship, 36-0. Richland Springs is up. El Paso Franklin tied against Mojo Sevens. Is that an updated score as well? All right. Louis versus Bruni, 7-6. Bruni's up. Rock Springs and Snook, another good one down there in that 2A division, 8-6. Rock Springs. Tell me with that one. Schulenburg. All right, Schulenburg is up against the Mason Punchers right now, 7-0. Punchers are down. Water Valley Gorman, 58-0. That's last night's score. Amarillo Tascosa's up way big against El Paso El Dorado, 34-7. Granger and Miles halftime score, 20-10. Canyon and Springtown, 14-7. Springtown. Fort Stockton against Clint, 40-0. Up big. Clint Mountain View. Wichita Falls Hershey's up against Pampa, 18-3. Clint 7, Lakeview nothing. Is that correct? All right. Ballinger versus Crane, 20-14. Crane's up. We saw that last touchdown. Brady versus Anthony. Brady's up 30-7. D'Hanis. Woodsboro 23-0 D'Hanis. Jim Ned and Peaster. The Indians up 35-0. Jim Ned is rolling the first round. South Lake Carroll taking on North Crowley, 35-7. South Lake Carroll. Alpine and Grape Creek, 20-6. But don't worry, Eagles still have plenty of times to get it going. And this has been the Deerski and Deerski scoreboard. Remember, these plus many more on SanJoLive.com/scores. And this is brought to you by Deerski and Deerski, the real estate professionals of Texas.
Whether it's a handyman's dream, a dream home, or perhaps a home on the range, Deerski and Deerski can help you find or sell your next home. After all, everything we touch turns to sold. Deerski and Deerski Realtors, the real estate professionals of Texas.
Let's get to it, folks. Action from last night, Burton versus Cristobal. First quarter here, game tied at 7. Josh Fava takes it in for the touchdown, giving Seatown the 14-7 lead to the third, where it got interesting, quick, fast, and in a hurry. They give it to Bo Jolly, takes it off the reverse, and, well, he's headed to pay dirt. 21-7 Cougars at that point. Late third quarter, the Cristobal defense coming up with a huge stop on fourth down. Look at this one, Tremble. We remember that one. That was looking like a La Esperanza play of the game.
On the 1
Instant Cougar
line.
drive, that Burton defense returning the favor, coming up with the safety. Yikes. Fourth quarter now. Panthers with the rock, and they know what to do with it. Good for the score to make it 22-21 at that point. Later, back come the Cougars. Kyle Lohman to Bo Jolly. Look at this guy. Off to the races. G to the O and E gone. Making it 29-22 Seatown. Woo, man, what a game that was down the stretch. Under 2 to go in the game. 4th down and 17 for the Panthers. Look at this pitch and catch to convert the first down, falling down. A few plays later, Burton gets it in the end zone to retake the lead to make it 30-29. Cristobal would have one last chance. Lohman to Bo Jolly. Oh my goodness. Can he make it happen? Unfortunately not. Cristobal falls in this one. 30-29. Oh my goodness. Tony, let's come back to the desk. That was a heart attack of a game. I about had like 2 strokes, and I'm 35 years old. And that was a weird game in the sense that Cristobal was a 1 seed, Burton was a 4 seed. They were considered a 1 seed before they had to forfeit all those games due to an ineligible player. They weren't supposed to. Cristobal wasn't supposed to see this matchup until the 3rd round, right, Chadwick?
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that that's how it shook out. But I mean, you got to give credit to Coach Otho and Jolly and the rest of the guys out there because it was a heck of a game back and forth. I know it's disappointing for Cristobal to have a early playoff exit, especially since we wanted that El Dorado rematch.
That's what we were talking about. We were talking about that big time. So, hey, Tony. In the meantime, let's go back to some Thursday night highlights here. Go ahead and take down the banner in that one, and let's show you El Dorado Somerville. This one, another heart attack of a football game. Let's pick it up in the 4th quarter. Somerville up big. Eagles receiving the kickoff, and watch the rodeo man, Cooper Metter. Yeah, just give this guy just a smidge of space, and he'll take it to the house on you just like he did it here, making it 27-14 Somerville. Far from done with this guy. Under 7 to go in the game. How about this connection? Corbin Covarrubias to Cooper Metter. 27-21 Somerville. Here come the Eagles, folks. Under 4 to go now. Somerville not going quietly into the Central Texas night, answering back with a touchdown of their own, making it 33-21. Next, Eldo drive. Here come the Eagles. Corbin to his cousin Jason Covarrubias. Money, and it's now 33-27. Under 2 left to go in the game. Eagles with the rock. Corbin to the rodeo man, Metter, for the 29-yard touchdown to tie it up at 33. Next play, John Long going for 2. Eagles get it, courtesy of Corbin Covarrubias. Yeah, they get the dub on Thursday night, 35-33, clinching a by-district title. How about those El Dorado Eagles?
Yeah, buddy. Got to love it.
Let's go back to the desk, Tony. What a game. That one, Trammell and I were watching that. It looked like, the type of game that was just like, oh my gosh, are they really going to lose this one? Somerville, it's been years since they've been in the postseason. I want to say 3 years, and they had a kid named, Johnny Legg?
Johnny Legg.
Right.
I mean, the kid was just amazing, but so was Corbin Covarrubias. These guys managed to just will their way to a dub.
Right. Hey, and that's all it takes, right? It's playoff football now, and so that's just something that you got to expect. It doesn't matter who you're lining up against. That any team, no matter what the seed, can bring it that week. But hey, give credit to El Dorado for putting things together and coming out with the W.
Especially because when it started. When this whole highlight started, this was the end of the 3rd quarter. This was basically the last play of the 3rd quarter, and then it was 27-7. Cooper Metter had a kickoff return to make it 27-14, and then they score 4 touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Unbelievable.
It's insane, man. That guy, man, that was exciting. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who they get. I believe it'll be D'Hanis, Woodsboro, one of those teams next week. I'm assuming they're probably going to go back to the heartland of the heart of Texas there, somewhere in Central Texas. But we'll kind of see what happens in that one. In the meantime, real quick, Ryan Chadwick, before we get to some more highlights, I know Matt Trammell's he's got the shakes over there ready to get to some more things.
Yeah, well, it's probably going to be the last one for a while. Most things are at halftime. So.
Yeah. Chadwick, Central, as they're getting ready to open the second half here, it's tied 7-7 with El Paso Eastlake. Do you like what's going on right now, at least from your perspective here?
I really like how the defense is playing. They've given up one big play all night, and even that big play didn't lead to points. The only points they've surrendered was like a 10-plus play drive that they were just nickeled and dimed to death, all the way down the field. The offense is doing exactly what they need to do. They should be winning in this game, but unfortunately they fumbled on the 5-yard line going into score. But like Crane and the rest of the coaching staff have an excellent game plan, and it's showing right now. Let's hope that they can continue that momentum into the second half, because if they keep playing like they are, with the defense creating turnovers and takeaways, and the offense just being methodical as they move down the field, then we'll probably see the Bobcats with a win. And they did great at the end of the half. They kept the Falcons out of the end zone, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Right.
So
yeah, hopefully we can see something Central, a spark of life from these guys. They need it, and I think this is a winnable game for them. I think defensively, I don't think you have to completely shut down Elijah Uribe, all West Texas guy, but I think, maybe just slow him down just a little bit, and I think that's I don't think that they were going into this game having to shut down the guy. I think slowing him down just a tad.
And honestly, that's kind of been the game plan, because Uribe has gotten the ball a lot, and they've really limited him. The only play that kind of got away from him was a trick play. Mm-hmm. It was a hook and ladder that went for 70 yards. But again, Bobcats stiffened up inside that 10-yard line, and they got a turnover on downs.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's an interesting game to say the least. Probably the other game that's just shocking is all get up. El Paso Eastwood, Abilene High there at Shotwell Stadium. Eastwood leading the Warbirds 20-6.
That's gotta be, I don't know. That's super surprising to me. Like that sounds like something like the Abilene High, who might have been a little overconfident walking in and then got punched in the mouth. So we'll see how that second half goes. If it's the War Eagles that played the Bobcats last week, then they'll pull something out, because they can score in a hurry. But that's just the way playoff football goes, man. It's what I was saying earlier. It doesn't matter who you're lined up against. If you don't come to play, you have a good chance of getting beat.
No, for sure. All right, a score update from El Paso Eastlake. San Angelo Central. In fact, we'll kind of show you a highlight here. If we can go back to El Paso here, Tony, we'll show you what's kind of going on here. And, this is just simple football from the Bobcats tonight. San Angelo Central, El Paso Eastlake from the friendly confines of Socorro ISD Stadium. Let's check it out. There we go. Tyler Hill. We're wondering if he was actually going to play or not tonight. They're hooking up with this guy. Looks like Kevon Rice.
Yep.
This guy has been money this entire season. And, getting him in field goal range, because right now the Bobcats, they just took the lead, courtesy of the field goal to make it 10-7 Angry Orange. Yeah,
that's pretty much what they've done. They've really controlled the clock. When they move the ball, each drive is taking 4+ minutes off. So they're keeping Uribe on the sidelines, and that's exactly what they're looking for.
Absolutely. One last look at this, Tony, as we come back to the desk. So 10-7, Central leading El Paso Eastlake. I like it, and I think I like the tough. I like the toughness. I like the grit that San Angelo Central showing tonight. Primarily because, it has been a struggle this season, certainly in the district season.
Of course.
I know years from now, when they look at the 2021 season, how Central got in the postseason, there's going to be an asterisk. Whether there is a realistic asterisk or just one that people know about, but there's going to be something that says at that point, Central got into the postseason because of friendship, had to forfeit a game. And Central only got truly one realistic win in that postseason, in that district season. But here they are, wheeling their way.
Right. And you also have to mention, it's by no fault of Central.
Mm-hmm. No, you're exactly right.
They did everything right, and Friendship didn't.
And I tell you what, and they're just playing with the cards they're dealt with at this point. And I love how Kevin Crane just continues to just move forward with all this. And props to him. Because usually in these post game interviews, I mean, we see it on his face. Bless his heart, man. Having to just talk to the media.
See, yeah, but like that's one thing you got to love about Coach Crane. Like he cares about this team. He cares about the game. He loves the guys on his squad more than life itself at this point. So like seeing the emotion on his face after like a lopsided defeat or like a close loss like we had against Odessa Permian, it just shows how bought in Kevin Crane is to this program, and coming from previous coaches, that's the kind of guy we want here at Central. So like,
right. Well, let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium. Eastlake with the rock. This particular highlight here, and looking to do something with it. But I tell you, Chadwick Trammell, we've been talking about this defense and how these guys are going to corral Elijah Uribe. Look how this secondary is doing some work tonight. The worst place to hit him, wouldn't you say? Yeah, it's decent throw, but look at that. We're about to get some company, regardless if he does catch that. Maybe some T-Rex hands.
Hey, but let's also note that in previous games, these receivers would have been by themselves. The secondary is playing great tonight.
Yeah.
There's Bobcats all over the place.
Without question. Tony, let's come back to the desk here. Okay. Let's see what we got. Big Lake, Texas, home of the Rankin County Owls.
Grape Creek, they're going to try to kick the field goal. They had an icing kicker situation, so it's right after the timeout. He tries to kick it. Oh,
The laces were in.
The laces were in.
so he's
You must die, Dan Marino.
Grape Creek is actually
It looks like 20 to 6. Taking the words out. Okay. Well, you gotta love the fight that they're showing. That's for sure. Yeah. All right. So we're seeing. In fact, we do have. Let's bring you highlights here from. We can go to Ira Ann, Texas, with Lakeview and Clint. Looks like in this particular highlight here, Lakeview on defense. And look at this, that Chief defense getting after them. Boom, baby. How about that? Gotta love the rushing to the football there. Let's go. Yep. Right now, 7-0. Clint leading in that one. They're fighting. They're showing it, that's for sure. Tony, let's come back to the desk. Highlight proudly presented by WW AFCO Steel, always covering Core 27, helping us out with coverage all season long.
All right, man, back down to El Paso, Socorro ISD Stadium. It's 4th down for Eastlake. Let's see what
Okay, okay.
It's a punt, and they once again try to fake it, and this guy gets nowhere as they get it behind the line of scrimmage. Bobcats are going to take over at about the 36-yard line. That's the second time this game they have stopped on a fake punt in the opponent's territory.
Hey, and we gotta say that's Uribe who's punting.
Yeah.
So like the Bobcat,
punting?
yep, he's their punter as well. So, yep,
He's their team, yeah.
right. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. They haven't completely stopped him, but they are keeping him pretty well contained. So now the Bobcats are in a situation to where they have the ball on about the 36-yard line going in, right? And so another short field. The first time they were stopped, but hey, they have an opportunity to go up by 2 scores with less than 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. So let's go Bobcats.
Love it. The Bobcats, hopefully they can cash in for 6. I mean, they're in this ball game, gentlemen, and I think this is the time to strike. The iron is extremely hot right now. For them to go up 2 scores would be huge right now, because I mean, I think obviously the favorites coming into this one, El Paso Eastlake, just because I mean they've just manhandled the city of El Paso this entire season. And tonight, I mean, they're kind of taking one on the chin a little bit against these Bobcats. But I mean, we'll kind of see how this plays out. Yeah, hopefully we can see a San Angelo Central touchdown here. All right, let's go back to the friendly confines of Grande Communications Stadium, Midland Legacy, El Paso Pebble Hill. It was 23-8 at the break. Looks like Legacy with the rock. And mama, there goes that man, McKylan Young, one of the baddest cats in Texas. Look at that, the double deuce. Oh my goodness,
Man,
running all over kids. Somebody want to get a hat on him?
He is so good.
Yeah, that long run, it would actually lead to a touchdown. But this is just McKylan Young doing McKylan Young-like things. Look at that. Still, even the tackler wanted no smoke.
Look at this swim move right here. Like, with the ball, he's just like, nope. Usually you don't want your guys to do that.
Let's see. We'll slow it down.
He's like, oh. Right? Usually you coach your guys to keep that ball high and tight, but hey, if you're McKylan Young, yeah, right? I guess if you're McKylan Young, you get away with that.
All right, Tony, let's come back to the desk. You gotta love McKylan Young. And I tell you, folks, you're not going to see a better way to watch Texas high school football other than right here on Cover 1 Live on SanAngeloLive.com because, yeah, I mean, for one, you'll see the nerds of Texas high school football bringing you entire games, which is cool. But if you want to hang out with some pretty cool guys and, you know, where we can just shoot the stuff and watch some pretty cool football, we're going to bring it to you tonight. Yeah, I mean, that is for sure. All right, let's see. I know it is about 8:43. I know I want to check in. I'm really curious to see what Odessa Permian and El Paso Franklin are up to right now. All right, looks like updated score from Shotwell Stadium. El Paso Eastwood 23, Abilene High 13, 5:07 left in the third quarter. Troopers just got on the board. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that is just a wake-up call from Coach Fullen and you know the coaching staff from the north side of Abilene, because I would hate to see them lose an opening round game against an El Paso team. Yeah, it's been an interesting night to say the least for those guys right now. So we'll kind of see how the rest of this shakes out. Hopefully, interested to see what El Paso Franklin. I'm looking for an updated score with this. If you do have anything to pass along to us tonight, folks, we want to see what game that you might be at tonight. We'd love to see it. Drop us a photo, drop us a pic. Do what you got to do. Just bring us the goods tonight. That's all we're asking. All right, Chairman, what you got anything waiting in the wings for us? updated score there from Ira and Trammell?
I think we're still stuck.
We still set 7. Okay, so this updated score from El Paso with Odessa Permian, El Paso Franklin. This is about 12 minutes ago. Right, give or take 7 minutes left in the opening half. Permian leading Franklin 28-21. So Franklin bringing it tonight.
They're hanging around.
Yeah, they're hanging around with Mojo. Once again, I would hate to see a traditional West Texas team coming from the Little Southwest Conference having to drop one against El Paso. We don't see that a whole lot. Not saying that it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it just doesn't really happen a whole lot, for starters. So, Trammell. I hope you're not talking about San Angelo Central. Let's start with that. Yep. Get out of town.
Yeah, that's almost a 50-yard run. That's a 47-yard run. But, man, look at that. Escapes the sack, goes out to the left, breaks one tackle, and then fights a guy for 15 yards to get into the end zone.
Wow. So, gentlemen, this game is a 1 versus 4 matchup. Crane, the district champion, Ballinger, the 4 seed out of their district. So, you're seeing, if you're talking about how these scores shouldn't be transpiring tonight, this one should not be this close if you're looking at, the 1 versus 4. But Ballinger, my goodness, how about those kids from Runnels County tonight?
Now, remember, this is that district where we had 3 teams tie for the district championship.
Mm-hmm.
Grape Creek, Sonora, and Brady. Now, if Ballinger is the 4th seed, are they really just a second-place team now? They've been a very good season all year. It's a really hard district, so maybe we can see all 4 teams in the district win.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. That would be awesome to see that. All right, let's go back out to Socorro ISD Stadium with San Angelo Central, El Paso, Eastlake. Eastlake with the rock here, and let's check it out. So, Eastlake QB1 dropping back. Man, pass interference called on the Central defense, and if you, well, is that Elijah Uribe?
Yep,
yeah,
it is.
Oh my goodness. Yates is
Yates
the DB
couldn't
there.
quite get his head around there.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. You can't have your head looking straight at the receiver. I mean, that's a solid call.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he would just turned around, he could have picked that off.
Yeah, no, he was in prime position. Look at that. One more time. I mean, luckily we're not in the pros, so that's not a spot foul. Just 15 yards. We'll look at it one more time. So, fresh set of downs for the Falcons. Uribe on the target. Tony, let's come back to the desk. Berkshire Hathaway, proud presenter of our Bobcat highlights tonight, the entire season. All right, so it's an interesting night of football. I think McKylan Young has made it pretty fun for us to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I think we have perhaps another McKylan Young sighting. I know we have a legacy touchdown sighting here.
Chances are, yeah, it's pretty confident it might be McKylan Young.
Yeah, he's been one of the most dynamic players to watch. I know he has 30-plus touchdowns on the season. And let's see, let's go back to, in fact, Tony, let's go back to Grande Communications Stadium. We talked so much about McKylan Young, but how about our good friend Marcus Davila, the QB1? This guy, plenty good to watch. Look at that. He's going to drop back here, just floating it over. Nothing too big there. finding this guy makes it 36-8. Midland Legacy leading El Paso Pebble Hills. I mean, that's something any of us can probably just line up against right there.
Right? Oh, yeah, that was an easy one. Right in there, just walking in the end zone. Nice little pass, put a little bit of touch on it, just all he needed.
Yep. So, the way this one stands, and I'm sure, we certainly probably have to take a look at who South Lake Carroll. I know South Lake Carroll's in action tonight. Winner of that matchup, who South Lake Carroll is playing, will face up if Legacy does prevail in this one. It could be, Tony, let's come back to the desk. It could be very well South Lake Carroll, Midland Legacy next Friday night, probably somewhere, maybe, hopefully in Abilene.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a little bit closer for us. Maybe not quite at the ballpark in Arlington. But, yeah, last year it was a fantastic second-round showdown between Midland Legacy, artist formerly known as Midland Lee at that point, against Euless Trinity. And I was there. I was covering that game. For a moment there, I was certain Legacy was just going to come out and win that one. But I tell you what, they gave Trinity just enough breathing room in the fourth quarter where the Trojans
to come back and beat them.
Just came back and won that. So.
And honestly, that seems like that's been Legacy's problem even this year. Like where they're playing a team like Arlington Martin, like they had that game handedly.
Had it wrapped up. It was in the bag for them. So, I think these guys they're West Texas. They're the hopeful team in West Texas to represent West Texas to do something larger than life this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think South Lake Carroll. If you look at the Max Preps, top 25 rankings in America, you see South Lake Carroll in that conversation. I think they're a little on the outside of the top 10. IMG Academy, obviously number 1, but I think if there's a team to upset South Lake, it's Midland Legacy. I mean,
I also think they match up with them real well because historically South Lake Carroll is an excellent passing team, and I would say one of the biggest strengths of the Midland Legacy defense is their secondary. So, we'll just kind of see how that goes if that matchup inevitably happens, but I could definitely see Legacy making it past these guys, and if you make it past that elusive third round, that's when you actually have a shot. Like we saw Abilene High do it back in 2009.
Right.
So,
right. So, interesting. We'll see how that one shakes out there. I know eyes on El Paso Eastwood and Abilene High tonight.
We got a update, Manny. If you want to go to Socorro ISD, if you want to pull up the most recent one, we got 2 of them. We need to run back to back.
Okay. I got you.
But I have the first one here. This is exactly the guy who's been just killing them all night long, Manny. We told you about him. We warned you about him. It's Uribe. He just a little bubble out of the backfield, and he's going to take this thing for about 15. Finally meets the guy right there at the sticks and just puts it right in his chest. Gets an extra 3. Gets the first down. It was third down there, 3rd and about 12.
All right, so the next sequence to that, later in the drive here, mama, there goes that man, Elijah Uribe.
Just continuing
and
on.
There was an egregious hold on that sideline right there that they actually threw a flag that the refs picked up.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there was actually one more in between that. This is how they actually got just a little bit closer. This one right here is just a breakdown in the passing. It's a screen play.
Oh, that's the one I'm talking about.
That is there's the holding call right there. I don't know if it was a holding or not. Maybe an unnecessary roughness, not sure. Either way, they got that one down there pretty far and then answered, of course, with the Uribe run that we just saw.
Yeah, so, it's 1st and goal, Eastlake, marching, knocking on the door of the Central goal line right now. Central, this season, they have not been good stopping the run, certainly whenever it gets deep in their own goal line like that. So, do you think there's a chance that, El Paso Eastlake walks out with just 3 instead of 7 in this drive?
They've already stopped them once inside the 20, so I don't see why not. This is going to be tough inside the 10, but the Bobcats have been getting good penetration on the defensive front all night. So if they try to just muscle their way in there, that's actually probably preferable for the Bobcats because the only points they've given up has been off of a pass. So
okay, all right. So this one, I mean, we'll keep an eye on that one. It's 10-7, San Angelo Central leading El Paso Eastlake. I know we're deep into the third quarter now. I believe there was 3 seconds left last we checked. So I would be assuming that they're probably headed to the fourth quarter, if not already there. 10-7, San Angelo Central leading El Paso Eastlake. In the meantime, how about we go back to San Angelo Stadium, where we find Ballinger and Crane. And this one, it was, 21-20 Ballinger?
Yeah, 21-20. Ballinger is up in this one. We're going to let you pause it and just kind of see it for a second, kind of a short clip. You look down here at the bottom of the field about the 10-yard line. This is where the receiver makes the catch, and he just spins and goes and gets in the end zone. It's going to make it 27-21. Is it Crane?
Yep. Ballinger.
No. Ballinger got scored on.
Okay. Yes. You're exactly right.
So Crane scores 27-21. Crane's up.
Okay. All right. So we'll kind of see how that one plays out. Yep. All right. So we have another highlight to show you from Big Lake. This is Grape Creek in Alpine here. Trammell, you let's see,
go for it.
I think I got this one.
Yeah,
here.
go for
All
it.
right, let's go back to Big Lake, Texas, Alpine, Grape Creek, Eagles with the rock, and I tell you, Grape Creek trying to stay in the fight in this one here.
Gotta have something big happen.
Yeah, they needed a break, and look at that one. They're breaking off a nice chunk of change deep in the heart of Alpine territory.
Almost scored a touchdown. It was pretty dang close to getting in there. Broke out, cut, and almost had it right there once that cut. Got caught from behind. So what do you think he's on about, Manny?
He's probably at the 5-yard line at least.
So we have what's this? Let me see what the score to that
Trammell,
is.
I know there's
actually, we just got an update for that.
So it's at that point it was 20-6.
Here we go.
Trammell bringing us the goods. What you got, Trammell?
Yeah, so here we go. This is the very next play. Grape Creek. This is from James Bellini. It's actually shot in slow motion, but that's okay. So a little slow motion action, just a handoff right
Maybe
there.
just speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll speed it up a little bit. Yeah. There we go. Handoff right there. Gonna go score. Grape Creek. They're not giving up, that's for sure.
2-point try good. 20-14 Alpine. 8:21 left in the third quarter. I tell you what, I kind of like that slow motion there, Trammell. That looked all right.
Yeah, not too bad by accident, I'll tell you that.
All right, so we do have an update from from El Paso. Looks like Elijah Uribe able to get in the end zone. It is now 14-10. Eastlake leading the Bobcats. So this is a very low-scoring game. For both team standards. I mean, both teams are. I think Central, the way they run that spread offense, they're capable of scoring.
Oh yeah.
Tonight, what do you think that is? Why?
What's
going on with them?
I feel like this is part of the game plan that has been put together by Coach Crane. They know how dangerous the Eastlake offense is, and they want to keep that quarterback and Uribe on the sidelines, right? So they've been doing a lot of runs, to the interior of the defense. They'll line up Darius Floyd off of one of the tackles, and then he'll kind of act as more of a fullback tonight, blocking for Navarrete. And then the passes they do, they're mostly screens, short passes across the middle and whatnot. So they're looking for these 10 to 12 play drives that will take a lot of time off the clock. I do know that the Bobcats are winning the time possession in that regard, so that's working out. But that's also one of the reasons why the ball game is so low scoring. I mean, not to mention there's been multiple turnovers on down, turnovers in the red zone, you know what I mean? So it's a number of factors, but I do think that the game plan that Crane put forth is working as intended, let's say.
All right. I can take this next highlight here, and I'll let you kind of narrate it here, and I'll direct it from here. Tony, if you want to take camera 3 here, This is, let's go back to Big Lake, Texas.
Right after the touchdown, I got you, made the kickoff, and they almost got it. A little trickery here. They didn't catch it, and those Grape Creek Eagles were running at it, and they were about a foot away from grabbing it.
Yeah, as it hits the turf, there you see it. Alpine just able to barely get on. All right, so next series for Alpine here, Trammell?
Yeah, first play ends up pretty good for the who are they?
The Bucks.
The
or no,
Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty good play. Get about 5 or 6 or 7 on that one. But that doesn't stop the Eagles. The very next play, some little trickery happens and a sack. So it's going to bring up 3rd down for Alpine. Let's see if Grape Creek can get off the field.
They need, that was, as you can see there, it's halfway point of the 3rd quarter.
You can actually go to the next one. We can see the 3rd down.
All right, so sack here from Grape Creek. Tony, in fact, let's go back to that next one. We'll kind of show you this. We'll wind down the sack here, and we'll go to the next play. Oh, that is not the next play. All right, so let's come back to the pass.
I got it.
All right,
Go to me. Here we go. So there it is. The 3rd down, just an easy pitch out there. It's 3rd and 5. Finds his man. He gets the 5 yards and the 1st down. Grape Creek Eagles defense stays on the field.
Yeah, this team hungry, and I think that score has sparked some much-needed momentum for these Grape Creek Eagles tonight.
Definitely
Certainly
so.
As we head into the latter part of this 3rd quarter.
2014, 7 minutes left.
All right. Tony, while we got the Grape Creek fans here, let's go to the Grape Creek angle. So let's let's kind of set the table for this. So just a few weeks ago, it was when Grape Creek was playing Sonora. It was a final score of 7-6, and we kind of had to do a double take on that because Sonora's generally pretty good. Grape Creek, they've stumbled over the last few years.
Right.
It was a great game, but it was just like, can that be really the score?
Did Grape Creek win? By what?
So we had to do a little fact checking on that. Turns out we were wrong, but the Grape Creek fans let us have it. But Coach Tanner Teal used it to his advantage, and well, that's what led to a Grape Creek District Championship.
I'll be honest. I watched the Cover 1 show last week, and a lot of the comments they struck a nerve out here. You know, it came across that we beat Sonora, and we had to do some fact checking. You know, there was a lot of Sonora should hang their head. I tell you what, we're a pretty good football team.
Division II title, first in program history. But as for what that means tonight, well, it means absolutely nothing because they still got to play this game. 1st to 30. That's what it looks to be because, well, Grape Creek, Mas Menos giving up 27.5 points. Alpine giving up about 30 points a game. So you would think Trammell Bellini and I, we talked about it in the production meeting this week. It's like, okay, the way these teams are giving up points defensively, you would think whoever can get to 30 points might have the best chance of winning this football game tonight.
Well, definitely. And if you already see, okay, if they can keep going and Alpine puts up 10 more points, it's going to be a pretty big deficit for Grape Creek. But if Grape Creek can put up 16 points now, that looks like they might come back and win, man. We may not be too far out on that.
Yeah. All right, updated score from Shotwell Stadium. Looks like the Warbirds are on a warpath right now. AB to Anthony for a 32-yard touchdown on 4th down, folks, as Abilene has closed the gap to 23-19 with 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Awesome. So we're in it.
Yeah.
And that good thing about the Abilene Warbirds is they fight till the end, and they're a scrappy team in that 4th quarter, especially late.
They are. So keeping an eye on that one tonight. Got a good feeling about the Eagles. Hopefully that they can come back and, well, put that one to bed. All right, Trammell, do we have anything else that we're looking at?
Yep. So if we go back down to San Angelo Stadium, Ballinger has answered. That's right. Remember, we just saw Crane go and score the touchdown. And here are the Bearcats looking to answer. Just a pitch out to the right. He finds it in the touchdown. The extra point is no good, so they don't get to keep that 1-point lead. 28-28, Manny.
Alrighty. Fantastic ball game there at San Angelo Stadium. Great
Bearcats.
Game. Man.
We kind of slept on the Bearcats all this year. We've been saying, they're not as good as they have been. But, heck, if they can get a first-round playoff win, they'll prove us wrong.
Yeah, no, that is for sure. All right, highlight courtesy of WWF Steel. Tony, if you want to prep us to go back to Socorro ISD Stadium, the Bobcats trying to make it interesting as they now trail 14-10 in El Paso against the East Lake Falcons. And as we see here, this is a 3rd down for the Bobcats. And look at this, Sammy Navarrete, Bobby Boucher stopped that East Lake defense just getting to him. Looks like it's a check down. That's kind of the only place for Tyler Hill to go. Ugh, man, talk about a downhill tackle from number 9 right there.
Yeah, ran full speed, came all the way downhill. It's nice.
So your updated score, 14-10, El Paso East Lake. Hopefully the Bobcats, they've got to get a stop on defense. Turnover, a stop is a must in the next drive, you would think. Tony, let's come back to the desk. Berkshire Hathaway, our proud sponsor of Bobcat Highlights tonight and all season long. All right, so, yeah.
It's 3rd down, Manny. Gosh, I keep forgetting. Alpine Bucks are 3rd down right now at about midfield against the Grape Creek Eagles. Do you think the Eagles going to be able to get off the field?
I hope so.
Well, let's see. So he sends a guy in motion, takes the snap, runs with him, but the Eagles are able to get the stop. 4th down, they force a punt. Eagles have the ball back, and remember, it's 20-14.
Yeah, these aren't your daddy's Eagles tonight. Back in my day, early 2000s, Grape Creek was kind of the doormat of the Concho Valley. They're showing that they can come, that they are a team to reckon with tonight on the comeback trail. Hopefully, they got a little something left in the tank offensively to perhaps tie this one up,
or even take the lead.
Take the lead. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so update from Ira and Texas from Tristan Franklin telling us that Lakeview, they went for it on 4th down, but they have failed to convert, so it is Clint football. Tramble, can you work on a updated score from Ira and? Last we checked, it was 7-0
for Lakeview.
Yes, for Lakeview and Clint in that one there. All right, so it's been an interesting night of football, and we're seeing the Bobcats. It's been
looks like the 3rd quarter score of 14-0.
14-0. All right. So all right. So we do have an update for. Let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium with the Central Bobcats East Lake Falcons.
And it's 3rd down from the 31-yard line. They just try to hand it off here. Let's watch it. Just the handoff right here on 3rd down. Needed about 5. Only got about 4. Still needs a yard. But down there, it seems like that'd be a 4th down territory, don't you think?
Yeah, wasting zero time in getting that ball off.
I actually have that. They just got that 4th down too. So yeah,
they
just
converted.
1 yard run by Navarrete.
Okay,
awesome. So 1 yard run, got the 1st down. Bobcats continue to go. That means the chains are on what? About the 25-yard line?
Yeah, Monster Minnows with that. So, you're seeing a lot of Sammy Navarrete.
If you want to actually see that, I have the actual film.
We have
right
the
here.
conversion right there?
Yeah, so here it is. Just give it to him. Looks like a bunch of bodies just pushing everywhere. A lot of fans looking to see what's up. But as you heard Chadwick say, they got it. So
Okay.
1st down for the Bobcats.
And it looks like, the El Paso folks thinking, well, they may have converted, or I guess
Yeah, but if you look at the ref, he marked him. He marked him a good yard above where the sticks are. So I think it's good enough to say that first down for the Bobcats.
I think they're honestly making up for the poor spot on the previous play anyway, because like Navarrete was like laying across the sticks, and they marked him a good 3/4 of a yard short.
Yeah. All right, so
into the third, 2014, Alpine Grape Creek.
Okay.
That's a third quarter score.
All right, so we're waiting on. I know we're efforting right now some highlights from Grande Communications Stadium with Midland Legacy, El Paso Pebble Hills. So we're seeing a lot of different weapons from Legacy tonight, with Marcus Davila to Mikaelin Young to just, whoever's going to pretty much put on a Legacy uniform tonight. Tony, let's go back to Grande here with Midland Legacy, El Paso Pebble Hills. Looks like the Rebels are driving here, and look at Marcus Davila. Gonna do Marcus Davila-like things, and watch him.
Dang,
look at Chris Brazel.
They like to just throw the jump, huh?
Yeah, in fact, this one was called back. I believe holding was called on the Rebels, so that touchdown got erased. But man, talk about just a fantastic pitch and catch, if anything. Davila just throws it up, says, Brazel, go get it.
Well, he went and got it there, Manny.
Tony, let's come back to the desk. Angelo Bolton, proud presenting sponsor of Little Southwest Conference highlights tonight.
Gotta love Angelo Bolt.
Yeah,
beautiful sign back there.
Yeah,
Angelo Bolt.
Yeah,
go check him out.
Touchdown called back due to holding. But if you give me just a few moments, we'll show you how the Rebels were able to kind of just erase that holding call. Say, you know what?
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Exactly how Ryan Chadwick would say, because these guys, they're just built to get in the end zone. Clint Hartman's got that team firing on all cylinders. And if you got a guy like Mikaelin Young, Tony, let's go back to Grande Communications Stadium. This guy is about as dangerous as all get up. And check it out here. Rebels with the rock coming off that holding call. Look at that. Let him spin, coach.
Yeah, just give it to him. He's going to score.
It's
not even fair at this point. This kid is one of the best running backs in the state of Texas. Nobody's on his level, and he is surrounded by guys with people who are on another level as well. Even showing some love to the little kids out there.
That makes it 43-8 Legacy. Alrighty. So, Tony, let's come back to the desk here. Legacy extends their lead on El Paso Pebble Hill. So, looks like we also were waiting. Trammell, I'll take the lead on this one if you want to narrate it for me, because.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Go for it.
Yep. Tony, let's go back to Memorial ISD Stadium. If you're a Bobcat fan, you're going to love this. Let it rip.
All right, Tyler Hill, keeper.
Woo,
go to the left
baby.
After breaking your first one and getting the end zone. Bobcats score.
Extra point is good.
What does that make it?
17-14 Bobcats.
All right, 17-14. They finally take the lead. Bobcats had the lead late in the third quarter. It's about to be the start of the fourth, boys. What do y'all think?
Right there,
I was sitting here trying not to interrupt the Legacy highlight because I'm just squirming all excited. I'm just like, yes.
Chadwick's over here jabbing me and showing me what he's got. I love it. Tyler Hill, this guy suffered a pretty tough injury last week against Abilene High. He was a game time decision. It was unsure if he was going to be able to play. I saw him on Sunday. He said it was not a broken collarbone. That's what everyone was fearing that it was, but it turns out he was just a little sore, went down wrong, but
he
right
didn't
there.
want to end up playing the end of the game.
Tony, let's come back.
Honestly, I feel like it was one of those situations where it's like a partial dislocation. It might have come out and come right back in. That's still going to cause extreme soreness and whatnot. So
maybe so. I don't know.
Because he
play armchair quarterback, but I dang sure don't play no armchair doctor. Or else I take ivermectin. All right, boys, let's go back to San Angelo Stadium. The Bearcats right now are in danger. Remember that we saw them score. This is a high-scoring ball game. It's 28-all. But Train has the football, finds the man in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Crane. That's going to make it 34-28. Oh, my goodness. Guys, this is a high-scoring game. 34-28, and there's still a whole quarter to go. It's going to go down to the wire. Who do y'all think is going to pull it out?
Well, I mean, I as much as I love Chuck Lipsy and the Ballinger Bearcats, whew,
it's a high-scoring team.
I love me some
fast.
Jeff Cordell and the Crane Golden Cranes. I've seen them the last few seasons. They're a good football team. I think Crane will end up pulling this one out.
All right. Well,
If that was a bet,
in that case, that means Matt Tremble has to say, all right, let's go Bearcats.
See, I'm baiting you to root for a Concho Valley team.
Thank you. I finally need it.
I'll be the heel in this one here.
All right, so 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this Bobcat football game, 17-14, guys.
Oh!
3 minutes left.
Oh! This is going to get good. I mean, this is drama at its finest.
Oh, yeah.
Do we care to go back to Socorro ISD Stadium?
No.
Yeah, here we go. I got you right here. Or Trammell, you got this one?
Yeah, I can go ahead and play. Let's roll the tape. This man has been running all day long. Remember, we have been saying, how are they going to stop the run? Here's an example of why Uribe, he is a refrigerator. That guy is built like a full-grown man, runs up, down the sideline, past everyone. There's a flag afterwards. Could be, I don't know, could be a face mask, could be unnecessary. But
Looks
look
like
at
a
this
horse
guy, just
horse
hands it,
collar.
hits the hole, and you ain't going to stop this guy. This guy's got a gut on him like he's been chowing down for the past 8 hours on some ramen noodle to make himself a little heavier just to truck on down the Bobcats. Uribe is running all over these guys, and that's going to set him up for what could possibly be the game-winning touchdown.
Well, I mean, there's still plenty of time in that one. Even if El Paso does find a way to get in the end zone, it puts everything on San Angelo, and if you're asking me, I think it kind of gives them the advantage here because it's their game to win.
Right.
Truly, the ball is in their hands, the ball is in their court. This is where they want to be at that point. They're in striking, not only in striking distance, but with the opportunity to take the lead late in the ball game and just leave El Paso on the sideline.
Right. The only problem there is the Bobcats are out of timeouts right now, and there is less than 3 minutes to go in the game. So,
Gonna have to score it fast to hurry.
yeah, it comes down to, do you try to keep El Paso out of the end zone,
Yeah.
force them to kick a field goal, or you let them score quick just so you can go ahead and get the ball back with as much time as possible.
Right. So that was a 70-yard run by Elijah Uribe. It's about 2:30 left in that one there. Trammell, as you get ready to, we'll take, you have a highlight to go to. In
Yeah,
fact,
can you actually pull up this most recent one from Bellini right here?
Yeah, I got you.
And I'll do the one before it, just so we can kind of see how we got there.
You got it.
All right, so let's go with me first, Tony, on this one. This is Grape Creek versus Alpine down here in Reagan County. It's 3rd down for the Grape Creek Eagles. They've marched all the way down here. Only 9 minutes left in the game. Quarterback keeper doesn't get it. 4th and 1. Let's watch it one more time. This Grape Creek Eagles team is sneaky. You don't ever know who's going to get the snap sometimes. And that's a good example why they just try to bounce you up in there. But 4th and 1. Manny, you roll, see what happens on 4th
All right,
down.
so the next play on 4th down, Grape Creek rolling the dice, hoping they can get some 7s here. And, going into the – oh, man, had a guy open, unable to convert on 4th down. It was 4th and 4. Chadwick, do you like that play?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Anytime you just trust it up to a fade, there's just so many different plays that you could call in that situation.
Yeah, you're putting too much in one basket.
Right. Like, even if you're talking about a quarterback with a little bit more skill, you can try to throw a back shoulder in that situation. I mean, why not have a route called that breaks just a little bit to the inside, maybe sit down in like the soft spot in the coverage. I don't know. If you only got 4 yards to go, why not go for a 5-yard pass rather than
at least
for it all?
something, kind of keep it simple at that point. All right, looks like San Angelo is, well, taking the back seat to El Paso right now. Let's show you how the Eastlake Falcons got to that. Let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium. Trammell, be the bearer of bad news.
Well, Manny, we saw the huge run that got them there, and this is how it ended. Same thing.
This drive, at least.
Ended off. Yeah, this drive. This is how the drive ended. Handed off the same guy that got you there. That's a Uribe touchdown. That may be his third of the game, if not second for sure. Hands it off right up the gut. Dude's a tank walking in. Touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you're the Eastlake coaching staff. I mean, if it was up, if I was one of those guys, I'd be like, you know what? Let's just hand it to Uribe all night long and make Central stop us.
Yep, 21-7. 3 minutes left.
Yeah, in fact,
update
have
no timeouts.
Update on time there. 2:11 left in that ball game from Socorro ISD Stadium in El Paso. This one coming down to the wire, 21-17. Chadwick, is this a little too close for comfort?
I mean, I would like the Bobcats to be up by 5 touchdowns at this point, but like it is what it is. What makes football the best game that this nation has to offer. The close games lead to these epic moments that you'll remember forever, right? Mm-hmm. So let's hope that the Bobcats have a little bit of magic in them.
I think they do. I would like to think they do.
Plenty of time.
As we're kind of closing in on the final moments of that ball game, 21-17. El Paso Eastlake leading San Angelo Central. It has just been an absolute war down there at Socorro ISD Stadium, for lack of a better term. But, man, what a great football game. All right, update from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. This one, another great ball game, 31-25. Eastwood leading Abilene High, $1:26 to go in that ball game. In the meantime,
yeah, we can go.
Tony,
yeah,
let's go back to Big Lake there.
Yeah, let's do it. This is a huge run. Remember, Grape Creek just lost the football. They need a stop big time here because a touchdown could really seal it for Alpine, and the Bucks just break one out. Look at this, up close and personal. Come visit James Bellini right in his grill, baby.
How you doing?
That's a first down for the Pine.
A la Joey Tribbiani.
First down for the Pine. They're leading 2014. If they score, it could really end it. It's late for the Grape Creek Eagles.
Yeah, hopefully there's still enough magic for the Cinderella of the Concho Valley. My goodness, they need to stop it. All right. So, San Angelo Central with the rock. Last we checked, 2:11 left in that ball game. Let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium. And this one looking good so far. Look at Tyler Hill. He's going to find his guy.
Yep.
Kevon Rice finding his guy there down the sideline.
Got out of bounds, too. Stop the clock.
Yeah. Okay, so
to the 42 with 1:58 to go at that point.
So there's still some magic left in that one there with Kevin Crane and the Angry Orange.
See how this go to me. I'll show you the next one. It was a lot similar, but not the same result. A long ball. Tried to get the Hail Mary throw. Good defense down there. Kind of all over him, but they let him play it. It's going to be second down for Bobcats.
Yeah, you see how the defender just rides him to the ground, but that one wasn't PI, but the one earlier was. Like this
never turned his head either. Never turned his head. This is a blatant miscall across the board.
Oh my goodness!
It is what it is.
Look at that. I mean, where's the flag? Come on.
All right, but still, Bobcats have the football, and anything can happen.
Well, I think with those guys, I mean, it's the way they can move up and down the field. It depends on what down we're talking about, but time is not necessarily on their side.
No, it is not.
I mean, they have got to get something going quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, all right, Trammell, we do have an update. Looks like from Big Lake. If you want, I'll take the Big Lake update. If you want to take the update from San Angelo Stadium, Tony, let's go back to Big Lake, Reagan County, Alpine, Grape Creek. We saw Alpine, the Bucks, trying to get something going here. And well, knocking on the doors of this Grape Creek defense.
This is
Look
not
at
what
that.
you wanted to see as an Eagle late in the fourth quarter.
Yikes.
Jumps over the guy, touchdown,
Up and in.
the pine.
Yeah, that's... And, you know, in Grape Creek, in the last drive, we saw him go for it on 4th and 4 and then throw a fade route to the end zone. Maybe he could have done something in the flat instead, but decided to go for it with the fade route, and they are paying for that now because Alpine into the end zone. Tony, let's come back to the desk. Courtesy of WWF Coast Steel. All right, so that score, we're waiting to see what kind of it's.
That one's going to be either 27 or 26-14.
Okay, so it's 2-score lead at that point for Alpine over Grape Creek. All right, so Trammell, do we care to show them what's going on at San Angelo Stadium?
Yeah, this is probably going to be the most interesting game we have tonight, the most exciting one by far. We saw Crane go down there and score. Now it's time for the Bearcats, guys. Line up right there and hand it to your running back and watch him go. Jumps over the line and into the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Bearcats, and they get the extra point, and they take the lead 35-34. Bearcats are up late in the fourth quarter.
What a game, Matt Trammell.
Let me see what time left. 8:30 left.
Okay.
Stay tuned. This is going to be a nail-biter to the end.
All right. Big game going on there at San Angelo Stadium. Got the playoff pants going on. All right, let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium. The Bobcats driving. And I tell you what, folks, buckle up for this play here.
3rd and 10, Manny. It's a big one. They need it. And
Jacob
they
English.
got it right on the end zone. Drag
Got
your
him.
toes.
Down to the 29-yard line of Eastlake. How much time left, Chadwick?
46 seconds.
Woo. Oh, my goodness. The Cardiac Cats tonight. Okay, Tony, let's come back to the desk. All right, that highlight presented by Berkshire Hathaway. So it's coming down to the wire. That is for sure. Oh, my goodness. All right, so, in fact, we do have...
Let's stay with it.
Let's stay
One
with
more update here.
let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium, Tony. And this one, man, the Bobcats, it looked like they were
They
driving
needed something big.
and on the move. Tyler Hill dropping back from the 29.
Throws
throwing it
it.
down. Oh!
Oski interception. El Paso Eastlake. There's going to be no time left. This is going to end it for the Bobcats. The Bobcats season is over. El Paso Eastlake with the win. They're going to come out with this one. What is it? 21-17.
21-17. Looks like there's a bit of a miscommunication on that route right there. Heartbreaking way to end a season. Looks like the Cats, this is probably the most complete game the Cats have played all year. So, like, it's a bit of a disappointment, but you got to be proud of the guys tonight for the way they played.
I guarantee you, had they played like this entire district season, they're not. They're playing a game in San Angelo tonight.
I don't think they would have gotten blown out in any of the games that they played. So
No. Gosh, I guarantee you this one's going to be playing in the head of Tyler Hill this entire offseason. How this one ended, and you can see it. Interception.
Huge play.
Big-time play.
honestly, though, like it might not be a bad thing for seeing the play in Tyler Hill's head all season. Let's see him look to put his nose at the grindstone, like work to improve, because, he is a junior, so he is going to be back next year as well.
Yeah, and he'll be more hungry next year. They always are seniors.
What a game, though, fellas. I mean, most complete game. Absolutely right, Brian Chadwick. This type of season, it's so gut-wrenching.
This is just kind of the story of the Bobcats this year. Adversity creates situations where you grow grow your character as a person, and that's another great thing that football can teach us. So let's let's hope that Crane and the other coaches get that message across to the guys. I mean, you can't even be upset if you're a fan watching. Bobcats played their hearts out tonight. Those boys have nothing to be ashamed of. It's been a real pleasure covering them this year. You know, as a Bobcat alum myself, like I played for these guys. We didn't even get to the playoffs my senior year, so. All I got to say to this is appreciate these moments here. I know it didn't end up how we wanted it, but you know I'm proud of you guys, and I know the rest of the community is too. Let's just come back stronger next year.
Yeah, well, I think good thing is if you really kind of want to see how the rest of this develops, certainly for El Paso Eastlake. I mean, they're likely going to play Weatherford. I'd like to see what the score is between Weatherford and Saginaw Boswell tonight. But that's who they'll face next week. Could be
Saginaw
right here.
was up big early.
Okay, so likely the Rough Riders there that they'll be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps here in San Angelo, maybe Abilene.
Oof, that'd be a requirement. I'd be like, hey guys, y'all are going to watch this game this weekend.
Yeah,
you know?
because these guys took your
Right.
game.
Mm-hmm.
They took your game. Now I will say that pass interference call, or the one that was left in the pocket,
the one that should have been called. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't hang your hat on one call. There were several of those in this game that could have gone either way, of course. You can't put all the blame on the officials when you give up a 70-yard run after you go down and score like that, you know. So, I mean, hats off to the El Paso Eastlake squad. They came to play. They did what they always do, and San Angelo just couldn't capitalize at the very end. You got to look back on the 2 turnovers that the Bobcats had. That opening drive fumble on the 5-yard line ended up costing them. So,
yeah. But hey, you know say what you want, but nobody had high expectations coming into this year. We were at a first-year starting quarterback.
First-year head coach.
No defense.
Returners. Yep.
Right, so take what you can get. You boys made the playoffs. Coach Crane got a playoff berth as a first-year head coach. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I mean, and that's exactly how we have to look at this, and that's what we need to take away as well. This is a team that had little to no expectations, and it's still a team that went to the playoffs, like asterisk or not, like however you want to call it. If anything, this is just experience for Crane, being
Tyler Hill.
Well, yeah, it's experience for Crane being a head coach for the first time, you know, like just being a game manager, and like of course it's also just more experience for Tyler Hill. He's going to get a good idea of what he still needs to work on, how he needs to grow as a player. Even some of his deep ball, because I would say his best quality right now is his deep ball. Maybe he spends a little bit extra time in the weight room this offseason so he can get a little bit extra zip on that ball. So become more of a pure passer than he has been in the past. Maybe he doesn't come into the next playoff game, injured from running the ball too much. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Right.
just those little things.
Yeah, it's back to the drawing board, but with a lot of information gleaned from this season that these guys can grow, and like we're going to return a bunch of starters next year too.
All right, updated score to pass along to you from Ira and Sheffield. Lakeview goes down tonight 33-7 against the Clint Lions. Fantastic season though from the
Angel
Lakeview
ISD
Chiefs.
is done.
Yeah, I'm going over on picks right now, guys.
All right, well, you and me both.
I think I picked El Dorado right, and that's
My
All right,
goodness.
another game that's still going on, Manny. If I pull up this one, I need you to pull up the next one. I'm going to show you how you got him there.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. This is it. And Manny, if we have a La Esperanza nominee of the game.
Play the game nominee, yeah.
This is definitely one of them. Check this out right here, guys. Crane Eagles, Crane Golden Cranes with the deep ball.
Tony, take down that graphic there.
Hinder. Oh, yeah. See if you can't see this right here. Down at the bottom of your screen, the diving one-handed catch at the 5-yard line. What a snag by the Golden Cranes right there. The deep ball, one-handed. Dang, Manny. That is a snag.
Yeah, it most certainly was. Let's take a look at the next play.
Yes, but the next play, you think, oh, the Golden Cranes are definitely going to score. Tries to throw it up to the top, but interception by Ballinger in the end zone. That's a touchback. Ballinger gets the ball at the 25-yard line. Oh, my, just dropped back, read it all the way, broke on the football, diving catch in the end zone. Doesn't get any better than that, Manny.
That's the throw is on target. It's on point. It's a fantastic throw, but kudos to the defense just reading the QB1. My goodness. What a play. What a play. That's a true postseason big boy play from the Ballinger Bearcats secondary. Doesn't get much better than that here,
They
folks.
saved the football game.
Updated score, Trammell?
Still 35 to 34.
Oh my gosh, what a barn burner of a game. I'll be the first to say, did not expect that one. I thought Crane was just going to just mollywop Ballinger tonight.
When we saw the touchdown, it was 8:30 left, so at that point, it had to be probably less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What was the final score on that one? Is it over?
It's not over.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's still going 35-34 right now.
Ballinger ahead.
Ballinger's up by 1 point.
Yeah,
Fourth seed looking to upset.
Doing big things.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that is a true that's a true Cinderella-like upset right there. I mean, if we're talking, NCAA, dance, yeah, that's one. What's been one of those big 16 versus 1 seed matchups we've seen in the
UMHB versus Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And,
there we go.
Davidson back in the Steph Curry days.
Yepers.
Yeah. Hey, look, I mean, we got all kinds of knowledge.
Ballinger, that's who you are tonight.
But if you asked me what I ate for lunch yesterday, no clue. There's no space for that.
Yeah, or what your lady said that just a few days ago about maybe.
Oh yeah, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, you don't. Michelle Estella. I know things you tell me sometimes. It's like, oh, but yeah, we'll remember what happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and 5:43 left in the second half.
Second half, yeah. Ray Allen for 3.
Yeah. All right, Trammell, hey, how about we take a look at some of the scores?
Let's do it. Everything's kind of wrapping up, so we can get a scores look around the not just Concho Valley and West Texas, but across the state. www.sanzolive.com/scores is where you can find it. Brought to you by Deersky and Deersky Realtors, the real estate professionals of Texas, Sydney, Richland Springs, the Coyotes. Win big, 58-8. White Settlement loses to Midlothian 21-17. Abernathy 33 to Friona's 14. Dumas 45, Decatur 24. Mansfield Summit 38 to Azles 14. D'Hanis won big tonight, 37-0 against Woodsboro. Brady 51, Anthony 14. Fort Stockton 47 against Clint, Mountain Views 8. San Angelo Central lost tonight 21-17 against El Paso Eastlake. Springtown 49, Canyon 13. Granger 41, the Miles Bulldogs are out 10. Gorman versus Water Valley. Water Valley Wildcats win big 58-0. Amarillo Tascosa beats El Paso El Dorado 53-7. And Ballinger and Crane, this one's going down to the wire. 1 point ball game here, 35-34. We're going to have updates from that pretty quick. Alpine 27, Grape Creek 14. That one's winding down there in Reagan County. Schulenburg versus Mason 29-16. Third quarter. Looks like the Mason Punchers may be out tonight. Rock Springs versus Snook 44-26. Rock Springs. Bruni and Louie. Good names there. 20 to. Oh, is that Louise? Oh, that was the Italian coming out of me. It's Louie. 2016. Bruni's up. El Paso, Franklin, Odessa, Permian halftime score of 35-28. Do we have an update from Ratliff? Oh, they're in El Paso. Okay, all right. Amanda's going to search for an update, but a halftime score of 35-28. Idaluke Canadian, big game right here. 21-7. The Wildcats are up. Pilot Point versus Early. Early's up 29-14. Pilot Point is down. Whitesboro, Breckenridge 43-14. Whitesboro, Bushland and Slayton. Bushland 55, Slayton 6. Abilene High versus El Paso Eastwood, Manny. Fourth quarter score 25-23. Warbirds are up. Lubbock Roosevelt 44, Spearman 11. Midland Legacy versus El Paso Pebble Hills. The Rebels win 43-8. Euless Trinity 31, Keller 14. Hereford and Lake Worth 26-20 score. Lake Worth is up. Amarillo High versus El Paso Del Val 24-7. Amarillo High. Colleyville Heritage against Abilene Cooper. This is a halftime score of 35-14. The Cougs are down. Justin Northwest 14. Burleson Centennial 21. Fourth quarter score. El Paso Chapin and Amarillo Caprock are tied right now at 21. Weatherford Byron Nelson 28-7. Byron Nelson's up against Weatherford. Southlake Carroll 42 versus Northern Crowley 42-7. Southlake Carroll's up. Jim Ned and Peaster 42-6. Indians are up. Clint Lakeview. We have a final for this one.
33-7. Clint, your winner tonight.
All right, you heard it there. Lakeview's down and out, losing the playoffs. Wichita Falls Hershey 34. The Harvesters 3. Tampa loses. Lometta 53 versus Medina's 20. Garden City loses to Van Horn by 1 point, 70-69. Savinaw Yorktown 62-20. Shallow-Water Dalhart. Shallow-Water wins 56-18. Sterling City beats Hermele 56-42. Childress loses to Stanton 39-34. Upset. Calvert versus Oldsby 48-30. Oldsby. Brownfield and Muleshoe 21-17. Muleshoe. El Paso Riverside versus Big Springs. That's a 34-7 score. Big Spring loses. Odessa Compass Academy Charter School came down to San Angelo Stadium to play Sonora Broncos, and they lost big 79-8. Somerville 33. Our El Dorado Eagles 35. They're going to move on to the next round. Saginaw Boswell 40. Hazlitt Eaton 37. That's a fourth quarter score. That's pretty close. Burton Christoval 30-29. We saw this one last night. Christoval loses by 1. Denver City loses against Amarillo River Road 14-6. And Brock beats Wall 40-6. This is a Deersky and Deersky Realtor score page. Go to sanangelolive.com/scores for more. Deersky and Deersky Realtors, the real estate professionals of Texas.
Whether it's a handyman's dream, a dream home, or perhaps a home on the range, Deersky and Deersky can help you find or sell your next home. After all, everything we touch turns to sold. Deersky and Deersky Realtors, the real estate professionals of Texas.
Alrighty, that was our Deersky and Deersky score page tonight. Hey, updated score to pass along to you from Shotwell Stadium. And this, folks, this kind of just signifies the year of the El Paso school, certainly Socorro ISD, as Abilene High goes down to El Paso Eastwood tonight, 31-27. So El Paso Eastwood will now move on to the second round. So 2 El Paso teams moving on to the area round. I can't tell you in my modern era covering high school football, I don't think I've seen more than one El Paso school beat a traditional Little Southwest Conference program in one night.
I mean, and think like this El Paso team had to travel all the way to Abilene as well. You know, like this is the same team that beat Central 49-14 last week. Like, what happened?
Yeah. Did the right team show up tonight?
And this could Abilene High could easily be considered the second best team in the district too. Like, wouldn't y'all both agree with that? Like, I know Mojo's good, but
no, they're better than Mojo.
Yeah, in fact, and certainly whenever we talk about Odessa Permian, it's 35-28. Permian just barely clinging to, a lead against El Paso Franklin there in El Paso tonight. So, I mean, if the Little Southwest Conference is not careful tonight, they could go only 1-3 against El Paso, which is unbelievable. At best, we'll see him go 500 against El Paso tonight. So I mean, it's a shock.
What's in the water this year?
I know. It's
well, and if you look, Lakeview lost to Clint. Big Spring lost to the other El Paso Riverside.
Who are these guys?
I mean, these El Paso schools, I guess they're coming along. Another El Paso, I think it's El Paso playing, let me see if I can find it. They're playing, I just had it. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is terrible. El Paso Franklin and El Paso Odessa Permian are close. It's an Amarillo Caprock team.
Yeah, it's... Tony, if you want to bring all three of us here in the fold here.
Here it is. El Paso Chapin and Amarillo Caprock Those are both tied at 21 as well. So El Paso teams are playing pretty good tonight, guys. Usually that side of the state usually tends to not play football.
Right. I mean, and this looks like it's going to be the year where we're going to have multiple El Paso teams advancing. So,
Looks like a lot of people are going to have a good, easy round in the second one.
Hey, and like this might be one of the first times that we see El Paso schools or Metroplex schools traveling, in either direction.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, having to meet
Talk
in the
about a
middle.
drive, right?
Yeah.
San Angelo could be your destination,
Right.
San Angelo or Abilene.
Yep.
Hey, updated score from El Paso with Franklin and Mojo. Looks like the Panthers just got on the scoreboard to make it 42-28 with 3:0 left in the third quarter. This one just kind of poking along.
Maybe they had a late start or something. I don't know. That seems weird. That's only the third quarter in that one.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Permian, I mean, they could either drag it along or they can just
Definitely can control the clock whichever way they want.
Yeah, that's kind of their advantage with all that. But 42-28, Odessa Permian leading El Paso Franklin there at Franklin's home field. So, what a weird night it's been. We saw San Angelo Central go down 21-17.
In heartbreaking fashion.
Heartbreaking fashion. In fact, if you've just joined us, we will show you the final play of the game from El Paso. And this one, folks, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Tony, let's go back to Socorro ISD Stadium, and let's show the folks here as we see Tyler Hill dropping back, looking for a guy. INT, Oski, Eastlake, moving on to the area round of the Class 6A Division II Texas High School Football Playoffs. So, Trammell, can you give me an update of Saginaw, Boswell, and Weatherford, and we'll find out who Eastlake is going to get next week, because this one, I mean, Central had every chance to win this football game tonight. Hats off to Coach Kevin Crane and that Central coaching staff.
Said Saginaw?
Saginaw, Boswell. Tony, let's come back to the desk. Yeah.
And Hazlitt Eaton right now has a fourth quarter score of 40-37.
Let's see. So, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. It was Byron Nelson and Weatherford. The winner of that one will face.
In that one, we have a third quarter score. Byron Nelson is up 28-7.
Byron Nelson. Okay, so
Who also is the lower seed, right?
right, yeah, because Weatherford came out as the top seed in that. So
Weird year for football.
I know it's super strange how things have just kind of. It's like we're in a version of the Twilight Zone here.
Well, if you think so, don't worry. One score will always be certain, and that is, let's see if I can find it. Jim Ned won 49-12.
Okay, well,
So, number one team keeps on trucking. We might need to hitch up on their bandwagon because it looks like those boys
Hey.
might just go all the way down to the state championships again.
yeah.
Sterling City took care of business too, okay?
Yeah, they did. They did. It was close. It was
That one
scary.
was in very close faction. Was it 56-42?
Also, another cool little, 56-42, another cool little Concho Valley team. Water Valley.
59-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
tell
wins
you
big.
one thing, Water Valley, they are just dump trucking teams. We saw them just a few weeks ago against Very Best, and I know, Very Best, they're on the struggle bus this season, but Water Valley, they just came out and thumped them. It was, I think they took it into the first few minutes of the third quarter before it finally got 45. But Water Valley, they're as real as can be, and I think I know they're in that Division I, that Class 1A Division I, so I think they'll certainly give
But that's team
Sterling
made a
City.
Run before, right?
I don't think they've
No
been.
big runs?
I don't think they've
Not
been this
recent
good.
memory, yeah.
Not
This
football.
good.
They're usually good in other sports. Or
They-
I know
they're-
they've done like a volleyball run and a basketball run.
They've been
recently.
they were the 2014 state champions in basketball, and can you guess which rodeo man was on that state championship team?
Ty Harris.
There you go.
Yeah, my buddy also.
Trivia-
Shout out Jared Yerbanky. He was also on that team. That's right.
Yes, that's right.
Yerbanky.
That's right. I covered that team. They were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
They brought out certainly the best in that community. what was going on.
Looks like the football team's their turn. So
yeah. All right, let's see. Before we I know we're getting ready to wrap this night up. Hey, why not, Tony, let's take a quick commercial break. On the back end of this, we'll kind of show you how a breakdown of what went down last night between El Dorado and Somerville, along with Cristobal Burton. We'll show you some of these highlights because, man, oh, man, did they give us some good football under the Thursday night lights. But first things first, let's pay some bills coming up after the break.
We know people in sales who tell their clients what they want to hear.
But at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Addresses Realtors, we're not driven by the end transaction. We want a lifelong relationship with our clients, which means sometimes we have to tell our clients what they need to hear. Our industry-leading team of real estate professionals is ready to help you find the home where you can enjoy life's biggest celebrations and smallest moments.
When you open the door to your first home or your forever home, we want to be there with you.
And while we may be a brand with international reach, we remain locally owned and committed to the San Angelo community.
Our company is built on the principles of trust, integrity, longevity, and stability.
At Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Addresses Realtors, we are honored to be your forever agents.
All right, what a night for Texas high school football. Big thanks to, of course, Berkshire Hathaway, always bringing us Bobcat highlights. Folks, this is, although this season is officially over for the Bobcats tonight, our season is not. We have full intentions of following the Little Southwest Conference as far as they can go, and then once they're over and done with, following the latest and greatest team that's trucking through representing the Concho Valley.
Somebody from around us.
It always happens every year. Somebody's bound to make a big playoff run, and we're going to follow them. And certainly Region 1 of Class 6A, regardless if it's Division 1 or Division 2, is going to be good this season, and that's going to bring us some good football. South Lake Carroll and Midland Legacy on a collision course. Trammell, as we kind of get ready to show them some highlights, can you get us some score updates with Euless Trinity and South Lake Carroll? We'll check in on the back end of this. In the meantime, Tony, let's go back to some of the highlights from last night because, man, oh man, we saw some good play from Cristobal and Burton last night. Let's show you this one here. What a great game it was. Bringing it to you in the first quarter, game tied at 7. Josh Fava, well, he's going to take it in for 6. That touchdown makes it 14-7. Cristobal to the third, where it got interesting quick, fast, and in a hurry. They give it to Bo Jolly, who takes it off the reverse. And look at him go in for the touchdown, 21-7 Cougars. Late third quarter, the Cristobal defense coming up with a huge stop on 4th down. This was looking like the La Esperanza play of the game at that time. But here we go. This is kind of where it got sideways for the Cougars. Ensuing Cougar drive, that Burton defense returning the favor, coming up with the safety, 2 points to make it 21-9. Fourth quarter now. Score Panthers with the rock, and they know what to do with it. Good for the score. Makes it 22-21, Burton. Later, back come the Cougars. Kyle Lohman to Bo Jolly. He's off to the races. G to the O and E gone. Making it 29-22 C-Town. Under 2 to go in the game. 4th down and 17 for the Panthers. 4th down, mind you. Look at this pitch and catch. Convert on first to make it 1st down. A few plays later, Burton gets in the end zone to retake the lead to make it 30-29. Cristobal would have one last chance. Lohman to Jolly. What's he going to do? Well, fortunately not enough as Burton outlasts the Cristobal Cougars 30-29 in that one there. Tony, let's come back to the desk. Whew. That game, I mean, it was just weird. It was just weird.
Yeah, that's another one where I was just like, my team loses at the very end. No.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Trammell, score updates with South Lake Carroll.
Southlake Carroll's up 42-20 against Northern Crowley, and Euless Trinity is up against Keller 45-14. So it looks like Euless Trinity and Southlake Carroll are both rolling 40-20-ish.
Okay, so next week, it looks like it's going to be a matchup between Midland Legacy, Southlake Carroll. I would assume Abilene would be the destination for that game.
They could just come over to San Angelo.
Heck, I mean, I think second-round football for us will be a lot of fun because we still get to see some of the best teams in the state of Texas rocking out here in the 3-2-5. So I think that's where it's going to happen. The other matchup, if Odessa Permian can hold on against El Paso Franklin, it will be Mojo v. Euless Trinity. That's been one of the historic matchups. If you go back 10 years ago, I mean, you were liable to see a Mojo upset of Euless Trinity. And I remember there was a time where, the Trojans, they went into the Permian Basin, got upset by Mojo, but then Trinity was able to return the favor in the postseason when they met up later. So, unfortunately, I mean, we're seeing some good ball games tonight. Hopefully that's what they turn out to be. In the meantime, we do have post-game sound from the Alpine QB1, the Alpine winning Bucks tonight as they take down the Grape Creek Eagles.
Let's hear the tape.
Yeah.
I'm here with Jason Canova, quarterback for the Alpine Bucks. You won 27-14. How's the win feel, man?
Oh, it feels amazing. This team deserves it. We've been working our tails off since day one, and we finally got one.
And it always seemed like you knew where I was on the sideline. Were you looking for me? Are you looking to make San Angelo live, or what?
I don't know. Just see where it takes me.
I mean, it's a team game, ultimate team game. What do you have to say about your teammates?
I can't thank them enough. I mean, all the hard work they put in day in, day out. Shout out to my linemen. They're the reason why I scored all those touchdowns, and of course my skill guys for making plays. So I appreciate everyone, and I love everyone, single one of them.
Before we get off of it, can we just look at this really quick? Look at Mom over here just taking a picture. She's so happy, so proud of her little man. Good job, Alpine. They get the win tonight over the Grape Creek Eagles.
I think those guys have a date with Lubbock Roosevelt next week. Lubbock Roosevelt is just steamrolling teams.
That whole Lubbock 3A Division II scene over there, scary.
It's good football. Yeah. It's very, very good football, and this could be the year that Lubbock Roosevelt kind of does something big.
Yeah, it looks like Idalew's going to run against Canadian today. We saw Childress lost last night, but that means that Stanton team's probably dang good too. This is going to be interesting to see how this thing turns out.
Yeah. All right, so we will bring some post-game sound with the Alpine head coach, the winning team tonight. But before we do that, let's bring you a highlight from Burnett, Texas, between those El Dorado Eagles and Somerville. What are we saying that
the Jaguars?
The Jaguars.
Yep.
What was that again?
It's Spanish for mayor.
There we go.
Not like Mayor Gunter, but like
the horse.
The horse mayor. M-A-R-E. Yeah.
All right, Tony, let's cue up the highlight here. Let's pick it up in the fourth quarter. Somerville up big. But, of course, this is where it got amazingly good. Eagles receiving the kickoff. Watch the rodeo man, the tie-down roper, Cooper Metter. He's off to the races, taking it to the house. Nobody's going to get him, making it 27-14 Somerville. You would have thought El Dorado was dead to rights, but no. Under 7 to go in the game. How about this connection? Corbin Covarrubias to guess who? Cooper Metter, 27-21 Somerville. Under 4 to go now. Somerville not going quietly into the Central Texas night, answering back with a touchdown of their own to make it 33-21. My goodness. Next Eldo drive. Here come the Eagles. Corbin to his cousin Jason Covarrubias. Money. It's now a 33-27 ball game. Under 2 left in the game now. Eagles with the rock. Corbin to the rodeo man. Cooper Metter, 29-yard touchdown to tie it up at 33. Next play. John Long going for 2, and the Eagles get it. And the win, 35-33, clinching a by-district title. Congratulations to the El Dorado Eagles as they move on to the area round of the Class 2A Division II Texas high school football playoffs. What a win.
Can't wait to see them next week, Manny. It's going to be fun.
I think so. I mean, they're liable to play. I mean, they'll face the winner of D'Hanis in Woodsboro.
I'm pretty sure that's a blowout.
Probably D'Hanis.
37-0 final.
So, yeah, they're going to face D'Hanis next week. No telling where they're going to play them. I mean, likely, perhaps Llano. I mean, could be right back there in Burnett.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Eagles. They are just fireworks waiting to happen in terms of that. Cooper Metter, I don't know how you stop that guy because if you try to stop him, well, if you just put everything on him, well, there's Jason Covarrubias, there's Santiago Hernandez, there's Corbin Covarrubias.
He can do it by himself on his foot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need anybody to throw to. Sometimes he has like 35 touchdowns, but half of them are on the ground. So
yeah, it was something fun to watch there. So, nonetheless, let's go back to Big Lake, Texas, with the Grape Creek Eagles Alpine Bucks. Hear from the winning head coach of Alpine. Tony, roll the tape.
Alpine won 27-14. What do you say about your team?
Man, they played their tails off. Defensively, coming into the ballgame, we weren't real sure, to be honest with you, because these guys have done a tremendous job controlling the ball, and our defense played lights out tonight. I'm so proud.
And your quarterback seems to have the right attitude. He seemed to always know where I was on the sideline, man.
He took the game over a little bit. We put it in him and Tim's hands and let that old line kind of go to work. And, we made a few mistakes, but Jimmy's got them a little bit earlier. But I'm proud of the execution, and we did what we needed to do tonight.
All right, Alpine head coach there, the winning Alpine Bucks over the Grape Creek Eagles tonight. I think in our picks tonight, I don't know about you, Chadwick, but I went 0-3.
I didn't do so hot. I picked.
Goodness, boys, I went 5 for 6 this week.
I picked Abilene High. I picked San Angelo Central. I picked Lakeview. I picked Cristobal.
Man.
Well, I picked Alpine. I picked Burton.
I picked Grape Creek just so we could make up for.
Yeah.
The only one I got wrong this week, guys, was I tried to do it, man. I just tried all my hope. That I thought maybe if I was 6 for 6, the Lakeview Chiefs would maybe get it done. Put all my eggs in that basket. 5 for 6 this week.
Well, hats off to you, Trammell.
First round of playoffs, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
especially with the upsets.
You're picking some really good football games.
You're just a hater, man. I get it. You're just a hater. He's always got to go against the grain.
Yeah, that is most.
6 was not against the grain. If anything, 0 for 6 is against the grain, fellas. I'll take the dub.
Yeah. All right.
So you really picked against Abilene High?
We didn't pick Abilene.
Oh, we didn't? Okay.
Yeah, we ran out of time to kind of get to some of those
tonight.
We had 6
picks. We had Central. I picked Eastlake. We had Lakeview. I picked Lakeview, which I lost. I picked Brock. I picked Alpine. I picked El Dorado, and I picked Brute.
Okay.
I'm not a hater. I picked El Dorado. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
All right, updated score from El Paso between El Paso Franklin and Odessa Permian. Cason Clinton dives across the goal line for the score. 11:21 left in the ball game. Mojo leading Franklin 49-28.
Ball game.
So I think we could probably say that's out of reach. It will be Mojo and Euless Trinity next week. No telling where that's going to be. Hopefully it's Abilene or San Angelo. One of those. I know if they go into the DFW Metroplex, we'll follow them there too. Next week also we'll be seeing Midland Legacy and South Lake Carroll. We've seen that matchup before in a sense that it was Quinn Ewers. It was his sophomore season against Mikey Serrano his junior year, and it was a blowout. South Lake just creamed Midland. They were then Midland Lee, And it was just one of those type of games where Southlake never let Lee get a chance, get anything going. The very next round, Southlake just got dump trucked by Duncanville, and that was the year Duncanville went on to play for a state title.
Yeah.
They did not. They lost to Galena Park. That was part of the back-to-back when they went to the state finals and losing to Galena Park. But I mean, they had some that season. It was
it's a monster.
There was good football that season, certainly, and once again, folks, it started in Region 1. Region 1 is just a juggernaut for high school football because it involves the DFW area, and you know, every now and then we'll get a team like from West Texas, from Little Southwest Conference that will represent, and you know, they did that tonight, or they're doing that this season with Midland Legacy. So we'll hope to see kind of how that shakes out there. Let's see. Trammell, I'm going to send you a file, and this is a little post-game sound with. I'm going to put in the group text here, see if I can get it. This is Midland Legacy, with Clint Hartman, Isaiah Garza, following that win tonight. I know that was just a dominating win for Midland Legacy tonight. There's no stopping Mikylin Young or Marcus Davila. Those guys just got it absolutely on lockdown. And the way they play, absolutely fun to watch. Certainly Mikylin Young, this guy on an absolute tear. So, they're saying just a few moments ago, Southlake Carroll, Midland Legacy next week at Globe Life Park.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
So
that's awesome.
So imagine.
Wait, is that the new one?
No. That's the old crib of the Texas Rangers.
That'd be cool to play at the new one.
But so interesting enough, and I'll bring this up here, and as that Trammell, look out for that text there. I think you see it. While we kind of take a listen to that. In fact, before we get into that, and you might just need to bring it up just a touch, at least fast forward it a little bit to get to the actual interview. But while we work on that, when we work on that, we'll get to showing you kind of what happened last season at Globe Life Park between Midland Legacy and Euless Trinity. But first things first, let's go to the Grande Communications Stadium with Isaiah Garza and Clint Hartman.
Big win tonight. Round one. Go ahead and give me your thoughts.
Oh, just, anytime when you're in this bracket, you want to survive in advance. You play for me. The big thing is about lining up and practicing on Monday again. Football team now has up till 10:30 or something, 11 o'clock next Saturday, Friday, and to see if we can keep this thing going. I think that they'll play really, really hard. They'll get prepared. I think, some of those sophomores like Cam that just ran by, they played that game, so they want another chance.
Yes, sir. And so looking into this week at Southlake, that's a good team, disciplined team, well-coached team. How you feeling just going into that? You already knowing how things are looking, or is it?
I think we got to get in the film room and learn some stuff. But they're going to be a solid, fundamentally good football team. It's like Groundhog Day. It's us, them, it's us, Euless Trinity. You better get prepared. I mean, that's the big dogs in the Region 1. Yes, and so, you got to beat the best to play the best. So we're not outmatched, and they're not outmatched either. It's going to be a good football team, and I got a whole lot of respect for Raleigh Dodge and what they do and that story program. But I think it's also a chance for us to go and write our story too. So it'll be a great challenge.
Yes, sir. Did the loss of Seth Heller tonight have any effect in the offense a little bit, or?
It always going to affect you. If Seth wasn't as good as he was, and the other kid had been starting all year. We had to move him from guard to center. I'm proud of him. It was a tough situation. Seth's a great football player. He has a chance to play college football still. We're going to miss him, and it's tough because we got to keep moving forward. I know our kids love him, and the best thing we can do for Seth is try to keep winning and put a gold medal around his neck.
Yes, sir. Enjoy it. Love you too. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right.
Over there.
Yeah.
Happy smiles over there for the Rebels. About the only ones in this little Southwest Conference that can be smiling.
Yeah.
Mojo won still,
Yeah,
that's got to be a little happy.
Yeah, but no one likes Mojo anyway.
I'd be curious to know. I think they're saying this might be a Saturday game next week. South Lake Carroll and Midland Legacy. So we'll keep an eye on that one there. We'll see what that's like. But yeah, Tony, if you want to roll the tape here with me, this is last year's highlights of Midland Legacy now. This is against Euless Trinity. And this is this was a fun game to watch. It was fun. It was interesting. We'll kind of just reminisce here a little bit. But the Mikey Serrano days of Midland Lee. And this is a game. And this is the second round of the Class 6A football playoff, Texas High School football playoffs. And these guys, this game, Midland Legacy, they're capable of playing against DFW teams. They proved their worth earlier this season against Arlington Martin. Came up short against Martin in this very stadium, Globe Life Park, earlier this season. They're going to head back there. So Lee Legacy, they gave the Trojans a fantastic game last season. So have no doubt that they'll do it again this season. This would be an upset of epic proportions, just because South Lake Carroll is regarded to be one of the best teams in the state of Texas, not just in Region 1, but the state of Texas. So that's what's up against, Midland. That's what's on the table next week for Midland Legacy.
Well, we did see them earlier this year. We saw them play against Arlington Martin. They took them down to the wire. They didn't get the win, but they took them all the way down there. Is that the one they won? Did they win?
No, they lost against Arlington Martin.
Yeah, but they lost that one. But they went down to the wire, and so and that's a team that kind of matches up with South Lake Carroll of how dominant a team is.
We cannot discount that Midland Legacy is also state ranked.
Yeah, they're a good team, man. They're a good football team.
I think they finished the season ranked number 16.
Something like that. They're undefeated or one loss.
Yeah, one loss to Arlington Martin, who's ranked like number 14. So
good ball club. It'll be exciting to see what happens next week.
Yep. All right, so Tony, let's come back to the desk, and that was a fantastic finish. McKylan Young was just a junior that year, and seeing him, I knew he was going to be insanely special, and that's primarily the reason why we're following him so much is just because we saw it I saw it unfold last season, and I think they are primed for an upset. I don't think anybody in DFW is ready to say that Legacy can come out with a win. They're probably expecting South Lake Carroll just to roll through week 2 of the Texas High School football playoffs. But man,
don't sleep on the Rebels.
Yeah, do not.
I'm picking
sleep on
them
the
right
Rebels.
now.
Yeah, why not?
Straight up, I'm picking them right now.
Let's roll with them. Baby.
I don't want to put my picks on the line.
Yeah, because you always just pick opposite of what I do.
Not just you, mostly Manny.
Yeah, mostly Manny.
So we'll see how that one kind of shakes out. All right, it's about 10:13. We're nearing probably the third hour of Cover 1 Live here on SanAngeloLive.com. Gentlemen, final thoughts of the night.
Well, I guess I'll go first. My final thoughts of the night. It's been a weird week for the playoffs. A lot of the teams that we thought were going to be around for week 2 are not going to be around. We only got a few left. We got Sonora. We got Ballinger. Who they end up winning?
Ballinger, we never really heard much of it after that.
From that.
That's kind of important, yeah. Pause that final thought.
Yeah, we never had to have the final thought. I guess we need to be final, but yeah.
So it is final. Ballinger 35, Crane 34.
Right. Look at them Bearcats.
We got Sonora left, we got El Dorado left, and that's it. Sterling City,
Water Valley.
5 teams left. I don't know if any of these teams can go to the state championship, but I think a couple of them have a chance to at least get 2 or 3 rounds. Or I guess not 2 or 3 rounds. They're all 2 now, but 3 rounds. It's going to be exciting to see what happens next week. But a good note for you two up there: you don't have Seacrest-Oval or Central lose next week.
Oh my goodness!
Thanks for the salt on the wound, Tremmel.
That's my final thoughts.
Oh my gosh!
You know what? I'm still gonna root for El Dorado, even though you're so hateful.
Chadwick.
Final thoughts from me. This is just going to kind of be my overall thoughts on the Bobcats season. With little to no expectations, I feel like the Bobcats performed really well in certain spots and really not so well in others. About as good as a 500 team would be. I think Coach Crane and the rest of the coaching staff did a heck of a job this year, putting a team together that continued to improve as the season went on. I'd like to see some growth from both the offense and defense, like through the offseason into next year. But guys, it's been a huge pleasure covering y'all. Again, I am an alumni. I played for you guys. I bleed the orange and blue, So, Coach Crane, great job on your first year as a head coach. I wish you continued success moving forward. Next year, let's hopefully get that playoff win, and don't let this, punch in the gut keep you down. As a member of a team that went 0-10, believe me, there's worse things than losing in the playoffs, right? So. My final thoughts on the night, little Southwest Conference, come on, Midland Legacy, come on, Odessa Permian, let's see how far y'all can get. It looks like I'm going to be switching over to covering y'all now, so. But for the Bobcats, it's been an exciting season. Once again, thanks for letting me come out on that field every week and talk to y'all and, interview y'all and just cover y'all week to week.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, meanwhile, it looks like South Lake Carroll, Midland Legacy next Saturday night at Globe Life Park, Choctaw Stadium. That's what they're calling it.
I might be at that one then.
Yeah, we may have reservations for Globe Life Park next week. So, big game ahead for Midland Legacy next week. Wow, what a matchup that's going to be happening there. Final thoughts from myself. It's. Last night was just such a punch to the gut seeing Cristobal. It was a fantastic game, but I wish it would have been in the third round we saw that matchup, just because of what transpired with, what transpired, with Burton and the ineligible player. They were going to wrap up that 1 seed, but because of that, they had to forfeit a number of games, and then they got knocked down to a 4 seed, so that brought up that matchup. So for Cristobal, I think these guys, they're primed. They're ready to go. Kyle Lohman, he's going to be back. We're going to see Catcher Joyner. He's going to be coming back. Caden Carpenter. They got a lot of different weapons on that team. But moving forward, it's El Dorado's time to shine when it comes to Class 2A football. So best of luck to John Long and the El Dorado Eagles moving forward. Truly looking forward to seeing what Midland Legacy is about this season. It's always measured against the DFW teams, and if you want to be considered a true team in the state of Texas, you got to beat one of those. And next Saturday, Midland Legacy will have their chance. That is for sure. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, gentlemen. What'd you say?
Oh yeah.
All right. In the meantime, big thanks to all the many hardworking folks out in El Paso tonight that were able to get us our highlights. Fantastic finish. Unfortunately, Bobcats just came out on the wrong end of things. Shout out to James Bellini, boots on the ground out in Big Lake. To Colby Price, boots on the ground at San Angelo Stadium. Tristan Franklin, our boots on the ground in Ira, Texas, following the Lakeview Chiefs. So thank you to those guys. And, of course, our scorekeeper of the night, Sonia Ramirez-Munoz.
Isaiah as well.
And Isaiah Garza. Yes, I'm leaving out one of the most important guys there. Yeah, Isaiah Garza. So for Matt Trammell, Ryan Chadwick, I'm Manny Diaz. It's been fun. It's been real. But it's now time to turn our attention to the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Until next week, good night. God bless.
Who say they want it? Who say they ready? See, you might not like it, but you gon' respect it, cause this is West Texas. Who say they want it? Who say they ready? Hey, coach, they might not like it, but they gon' respect it. respect it, cause